boys. Welcome to the inaugural session. Let's quickly go over... Open up a notepad document here. What everyone is playing and where you're from in this town and like kind of what your relations are to people in the town. Like, do you live here? Are you visiting? You know, where do you lay your head at night? That sort of crap. So, Sezzix is the first one I see. So, Seish, what's up with your guy?
I am a Ratfolk gunsmith. I was in the sewers one day when I found a really loud stick. So I fixed the stick, and then it became even louder. And I go to a bar or tavern. I actually don't remember. Anthony will fill that in. And I talk to this cute little waitress that just hands me the leftovers.
What's the name of the tavern?
Anthony, what's the name?
The Long Roads Coffee House.
Long Roads Coffee House. Okay.
And I always show up at the end of the night, and I get the leftover scraps.
All right. So you have a good relationship there. Do you remember what region that's in? Okay, it's in the V section.
Yeah, it's with the students and shit.
Gotcha. Numerous restaurants and eateries can be found throughout Villa Grey, but most of them struggle to make ends meet. Long Roads Coffee House has never had these problems. Its owner is a female halfling named Laria Longroad. She has a devotion to the quality of food and drink and the loyalty of her customers. So yeah, Seish, you probably, spent some time there or whatever, and this kind of unassuming halfling woman will come up to you at some point in the past, and she's very like energetic and excited to see you and spend time with you. And she'll be like, "Oh, a Ratfolk? I've never met one of those before. What are you doing here? You're a curious creature."
I like the food that you dump at the end of the night.
You don't have to eat out of the trash can. I can make you a plate. It's been a while since you've had a good meal, I can tell. She'll just like put an arm around your shoulder and like walk you into the kitchen and set you up like on like a little stool back there, eating actual like hot food and not scraps. And you guys might form like some sort of friendship or whatever, but she's generally nice to you. And probably since, your disheveled appearance, she'll have you like go in through the side doors to not upset her other customers. But from your interactions with her, she seems like very nice and polite. And you don't necessarily know about the greater geographical, like political structure of Cheliax, this nation you're in. But her actions seem almost like out of place given the like totalitarian structure of Cheliax. And that's gonna be a theme for most of Kintargo, as you guys will find as you go through this, is that Kintargo is a city that almost exists in opposition to the nation that controls it. Like, the people here have always been a little rebellious. I mean, the alignment of the town is chaotic good, and the alignment of the nation is lawful evil. They're literally opposites on the alignment wheel. So, alright. So we got Seish as a gunslinger. We got Caerrat.
He's a very frail Aasimar man. He has come to the city recently as he's wanted to join the academy, but he's not really sure like the process to get that started. So in the meantime, he's just got like a little wage slave job working as a barista at the Long Roads Coffee House.
Oh, yeah, of course. You're a worshiper of Milani, correct?
Yes.
Do you openly
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I would be hiding it pretty regularly.
Give me a knowledge religion check or a perception, your choice. Oh, yeah. So, you've been working at the coffee house for maybe a couple of weeks, and the owner spends a good amount of time, hobnobbing with the patrons and things like that. She seems to be a pretty, like, hands-off manager. Her employees will, like, come to her and be like, oh, my son has a recital at the opera house, like, I have to go there. I'm sorry I didn't request the time off. And she'll be like, oh my god, do you need a ride? Like, should I call someone for you? Do we need to send a courier so they know you're on the way? And he's like, no, I just need to go. Oh no, don't worry about it. I'll bust these plates. And you notice during your time there that there's various paintings and, like, sculptures maybe that could be interpreted to be of worship to Milani. There's, like, a rose made out of granite in, like, a relief of some cobblestones. And maybe to one patron who's like, that's blasphemous, you can't have that here. She'll be like, oh no, this was donated by one of the Dottari families. This is a fine work of art. This is nothing untoward. And she'll kind of, like, play it off and be like, praise Thrune, praise House Thrune. And they'll be like, oh, good. And then maybe to, like, other people, she'll be like, ah, yes, the Dawnflower shines through us all. Oh, I'm sorry, let me go over here. But yeah, so you pick up on those things. What do you want to study at the Academy, Garm?
That I haven't got as far into yet. I didn't read as much on the Academy as I did.
Okay. The Alabaster Academy, you've learned that it's a beloved institution, but about 100 years ago, one of the most beloved professors was exposed as the Temple Hill Slasher, Kintargo's most notorious serial killer. The Academy might not have recovered from the scandal had the Civil War not wreaked so much havoc. Today, the Academy is enrolled at less than a third of its capacity, but the school and its professors stubbornly soldier on. The Academy focuses on teaching botany, medicine, zoology, and other natural sciences, and produces some of the region's most promising apothecaries, healers, and researchers. You've learned the headmaster's name is Ilvalio de Sadrios. And, the Academy has expanded its lessons to include arcane magic. And, by all accounts, seems to have resisted attempts by the Church of Asmodeus to introduce diabolic elements into its curriculum.
Then yeah, I would definitely be going for medicine.
Okay. So you're pre-med.
Yeah, I'm pre-med. I'm just working.
You're pre-med working at Starbucks. Gotcha. You're a douche. All right. All right. We got Yuri, which is Austin. Yuri, what's your story? You sent me multiple paragraphs on this, but what's the story for your compatriots?
Totally. So, I grew up in the area. Let's see here. I was in, what's the harbor called? I don't know how to pronounce it. The Kintargo Ulubilis Harbor.
Yeah.
So that's I think the north end of the.
Oh yeah, I'll share this map with you guys real quick. I don't know if you guys can see the pins on it or not.
Yeah.
Just ignore the pins. But this is the map of the city. And for what it's worth, Garm, your coffee shop, here's the Academy, is this big square. And then the coffee house, Garm, is right here.
There we go.
Oh, fantastic, right there.
Yep. So yeah, you literally get all of the obnoxious college students.
Nice.
Excellent.
But yeah, Yuri.
Do you know who my dad is?
So from the harbor.
Yeah, so the Y4, Y5 kind of area is where I grew up at.
Okay.
Growing up, I kind of got into a little bit of fights. I didn't really have too many friends as a kid, but I did have my godfather, Ivan, who kind of taught me some stuff, and that's where I got into being able to fight a little bit, fight off bullies and things like that. So that's kind of where I got my bare knuckle brawling coming from. I'm about 23 years old right now, just living with my mother. My father died, I think, when I was about 10. Anywho.
Okay.
and I'm working at the Clenchjaw, which is my godfather Ivan's bar. And so I'm a bouncer for him, and I run some odd jobs every once in a while.
Okay.
And we are also part of a gang, but that's on the DL.
Okay. So, your bar was kind of the second choice establishment. To put it in terms we would understand, it's the oh geez, I don't know terms we'd all understand. It's the it's basically like going to sports page instead of going to my office. Like, you'd go there if the other one was closed, but it's not your first choice of bar. And as I was telling you guys, Kintargo has kind of long been this beacon of independence and free thought in contrast to the structured tyranny of Cheliax. It was, at least, until ... The until being the ruler of this nation is Queen Abigail II of House Thrune. She is of this noble lineage, and she's from the thrice damned House of Thrune. So her forefathers made deals with devils for power and influence. And as a result, the entire nation of Cheliax is damned. It is literally damned to hell through, like, infernal contracts. And all of the citizenry kind of operate underneath this veil of, when they die, they might be going to hell. The nobles might be asking them to do stuff that is nefarious. There's probably people, like, being sacrificed or kidnapped elsewhere. Like, it's not a good place. Kintargo, though, has maintained its, like, positive, independent outlook until the mayor was removed from office and a new person, Barzali Thrune, who's the asshole cousin of Queen Abigail II, was sent here and kind of given Kintargo and the outlying lands as his fiefdom to control. Because it's been, like, too much of an upstart, or whatever the political reasons are. Those are above your pay grades. The word on the street is that Barzali is here to kind of crack down on Kintargo's uppityness. And as part of this, a series of proclamations have come out. The Lord Mayor, who was this very independent, free-thinking, outspoken female mayor, has disappeared. Supposedly she's been sent, like, across the ocean to, like, go study somewhere or whatever. Take that with a grain of salt. And last week, in an event that the locals are now calling the Night of Ashes, unknown agents set fire to a number of businesses in Kintargo, and the fire brigade was suspiciously late in putting them out. The result of which is a bunch of people died, and a bunch of businesses got burned to the ground. They all just happened to be businesses that were in opposition to the rule of Cheliax. So there was another bar, coming back to this, called the Thrashing Badger, that used to have, like, brawls every week. All the people from the docks would go there. They were big worshippers of, like, Caden Kalian, who's a chaotic good deity. That burned to the ground last week. So you've noticed an increase in business, Austin, in your tavern, as it's now the only game in town, at least in this area. Yes. And yes, the Thrashing Badger. It's Y4 on the map. It's now just a pile of cinders. Yeah. It burned to the ground. In Clenchjaws, which your uncle has a stake in, the operating owner is Rinston Clenchjaw Jom. He seems to be, like, a rather alright guy, but it's definitely, like, more of a dive bar than the other one was. And you've probably had to eject more than a few patrons lately who are getting drunk and, like, angrily talking about what's been happening lately, and, like, this bar's shit, the other bar was better. I can't believe that, like, Thrune is doing this, that they're cracking down this hard, like, it's criminal, we should do something about it, yada yada yada. So a lot of rabble rousers go to your bar.
Yeah. And then I also know Caerrat, Tommy, and Sezzix a little bit because of part of my slightly illegal activities involves bringing them slightly illegal goods for after hours whatnots.
Okay.
So
Yeah, you're doing a little bit of courier action.
So yeah, so I know them. I know them in passing, and we chat after deliveries and things like that.
All right.
We know each other.
At least cordial.
Yeah, acquaintances.
All right, Tommy boy.
All right. So I was a farmer outside of the city. That's where I got my handy scythe from. It comes with me everywhere. It's been my most valued tool throughout my entire life.
Fantastic.
But I've noticed as I've been getting older that I've been able to hear these bells like tinnitus, just a ringing in your ear. And it's drawn me to the city where I was looking for answers, buying mystical crystals from weird people in alleyways. Just looking for something to help. I was looking for Shungite, essentially. And it led me to this coffee house where I was buying these crystals from a student. And that's when Caerrat came out and was like, buddy, you don't need to do this. Here, come work with me. We'll figure this all out. Or come work with me. We'll figure this all out. So I've been a barista at the coffee house ever since. Well, he's been trying to help me with my problem.
Yeah. So the area you grew up in is so within the structure of this nation, there's like there's cities that fall inside of like fiefdoms or duchies, and then there's archduchies, and that's kind of your equivalent of like a county.
Okay.
Is how you can imagine it. So the Kintargo County, the greater Kintargo County, is known as Ravenel, and that's where you have spent some time growing up. And you would know some about that region, just kind of being a local that lived outside the city proper. Basically, your county, the Archduchy of Ravenel, is bounded by water on one side and steep mountains on another side. And it's kind of helped insulate this whole area from the machinations of Greater Cheliax. About 100 years ago, over 100 years ago, the whole nation of Cheliax was like mostly good aligned. They had like paladins and shit. They worshipped Diomede. Everything was going good. And then the deity of humanity, Eridan, died. And it led to a civil war here between worshippers of his that had like lost their faith and didn't have any bearings, and very cunning political houses that wanted to seize power. And the one that came out on top was House Thrune, and they seized power through the help of making these deals with devils. Kintargo and the Archduchy of Ravenel kind of avoided that whole conflict, though, their old Cheliax flags went away and the new infernal ones came down and supposedly, like, were part of an infernal nation. But, like, the farmers and stuff, they don't give two shits about that. Like, they're gonna do what they want. They're gonna pray to who they want, that sort of thing. And you know how the economy here functions. The rivers here provide a huge amount of trade for fishing, and the mines here provide a lot of silver, leading to a lot of silver themed stuff. There's all sorts of sayings that, like, there's silver in the walls, there's silver in the hills, sort of like there's gold in the hills. And then the third thing that's kind of a weird trade commodity that you would know of, Cobra, is that a lot of salt is produced here. Salt is kind of a byproduct of the other geological events that are occurring, and the salt that's produced here has little flecks of silver in it, which are largely harmless, but it gives the salt a unique flavor. So, like, culinarians from across the Inner Sea pay exorbitant prices to have, like, your non-GMO, organic Kintargo salt sent to them. So, like, that's where a lot of wealth comes from in terms of the farmland. So Kintargo consists of, like, this town, these rich farmlands, some mines, and then some, like, riverfront property. So yeah, as far as the bells go, All of you will have heard, and those of the two of you that are locals, Yuri and Tommy, you guys would know that because it's kind of always been this upstart thing, when the Civil War happened, there was like fighting on the streets in Kintargo 100 years ago, and there was a group of individuals known as the Silver Ravens that battled essentially to keep Kintargo as independent as possible. And as far as you know, all of them died. But they like all died heroic deaths in defiance of like evil tyrannical oppression. And, you know, their name, of course, the Silver Ravens, is because of all the silver that was here. So, yeah, there you go. So yeah. Timeline-wise, you guys can have been here for as long as you were. Things were more or less, like, pretty stable and positive. Everything had, like, a good outlook. This is a nice place to live. The background art of this map or whatever, like the wallpaper behind everything, that's Kintargo. That's what it looks like. It's a beautiful city. It's like a shining metropolis, almost. And then Barzali Thrune came to town. He enacted a bunch of proclamations. A lot of them are very asinine, and they just seem to be ways for citizens to get in trouble. There's basically nothing you can do that couldn't be attributed to breaking one of these things. And it has fractured the population in a way that very eerily resembles what's happening in our country right now, in a way, which is kind of weird. This AP came out a long time ago, though. But basically, there's like the citizens that have formed a people's militia that support the new government, and they like go around making citizen arrests even though they have no real power. And they like, you know, harass people, and they like drag them in front of Dottari, which are like actual military police. The Dottari work for Barzali Thrune in the government, and there are also entities and organizations known as Hell Knights. These are basically paladins, high-level paladins, but instead of worshipping good and law, they just worship law. They don't care if it's good or evil, they just care if it's lawful. Because the worst thing in existence is chaos, because chaos leads to entropy and everything falls apart. We just want law. So, if like, when they call in the SWAT team or whatever, they just call in these Hell Knights, which are effectively paladins, but they only care if you're, they're like Judge Dredd, is how you can think of them. And those are kind of like the nations, that's like the National Guard. So the Hell Knights don't work for Kintargo, they work for a greater purpose, and they can be called in. And that's like kind of all the bad side of it, right? Those are the things you're going to be opposing. The stuff on your side of it are a lot of independent thinkers, musicians, artists, stuff like that. The organized side of that, the Bellflower Network exists throughout Cheliax, and it's run by halflings primarily, and they seek to free people out of slavery and get them out of Cheliax. In this nation, halflings are the most commonly enslaved race, and they're referred to as slips, or like house servants. They're not really used for manual labor, they're mostly used for like being your butler or whatever. So the Bellflower Network works in most cities. Like there's definitely some in Kintargo. You would be surprised if there weren't. They're called tillers, because the Bellflower Network considers everything like a field to be tilled. So they till the field by escorting people out of the city into safety. So those are some of the good guys. There were also the Silver Ravens, though they're all dead. But those were like the heroes of Kintargo. And now to speak of them is like, you're probably going to get in trouble for talking about them. But yeah, does anyone have any other questions kind of about the structure of Kintargo, or any other questions with your characters before we get started?
No.
All right, let me
Pretty much all set up.
Into combat, it will be a little tricky for me to figure out, but you can get through it.
into combat. This is a lawful city. Nothing would ever happen here.
Never.
Let's go over these proclamations real quick, because they're sweet. So far there have been 7 proclamations. They're literally just new laws. But because he is, you know, the lawful ruler here, anything he says becomes law. So they've become proclamations. So the first one he gave, all slayers of city pests, hereby defined as droves, mice, and ravens, who present said pests to Dottari shall receive a bounty of 1 copper piece. Basically, there's like a lot of vermin running around in the docks, and he wanted to clean it up. So people were pretty on board with this. The next one, all places of public business must display, in a position of prominence within the first room, assembled from the building's primary entrance, a portrait of her infernal magistrix, Queen Abigail II. Said portrait must measure no less than 11 by 17 inches. This is the standard glorious leader picture that all businesses are now required to display. But it's not of him, it's of glorious leader Queen Abigail II. The third one. Anyone who captures an alive, unharmed, and feral dog weighing at least 50 pounds is rewarded a payment of 2 silver pieces upon transfer of the dog to the Dottari. Such noble guardian creatures should find homes worthy of their kind. This has kind of been, it's like a weird proclamation, but it's come out in the last couple of days that it's, not altruistic. There's a practice that the city guard and the militia like doing called dog housing, where they chain you up and let dogs bite you. And they need more dogs for that.
Awesome.
Indeed. The fourth proclamation. The right to wear fine embroidered clothing in public is hereby prescribed to anyone other than agents of House Thrune or the Holy Church of Asmodeus. Exceptions can be awarded or purchased at the city's discretion. Basically, you can't wear clothes over a certain gold piece value without permission or if you're nobility. Enjoy that. The fifth one, grain is life! Exclamation point. Should grain be spilled in public, it must be gathered, cleaned, and repackaged within the hour. Any person who allows grain to go ungathered after a spillage is fined 1 copper per piece of grain.
That's a good one.
The sixth one, the imbibing of night tea. This is why now your runs are illegal, Austin. The imbibing of night tea brings a dangerous imbalance to the slumbering mind. Between the hours of sunset and sunrise, taking the tea is prescribed. They're basically cracking down on hallucinogens now. Anyone caught drinking the tea after curfew is fined 10 gold pieces. Failure to pay the fine results in incarceration.
Holy shit.
Also, 10 gold pieces is like an absurd amount of wealth to commoners.
Yeah.
And the seventh one.
$80,000.
The odor and flavor of mint is an abomination to the refined palate. Be not the cretin. Mint use in candies, drinks, and all manners of confections is hereby prescribed. Being caught with mint incurs a fine of 20 gold. Failure to pay the fine results in incarceration. So it seems things seem to be accelerating. So yeah, like a couple of days ago when the Seventh Proclamation came out after the Night of Ashes, you saw like Dottari going to like people's like window boxes where they have little herb gardens and just like ripping out all the mint and like throwing it on the ground and stomping on it and shit like that. Just ridiculous stuff. But yeah, so you guys have all learned, probably through one mean or another, that there is something going on. People are obviously not happy, and there have been little groups of protests happening from time to time. And the largest one of these is planning to happen at Aria Park, just outside of the Kintargo Opera House. It's J4 on this overworld map. The Opera House right now is where Barzali Thrune is calling home. The doors have been closed. No one is allowed to go in there. The guard is stationed outside it at all times, and periodically he like emerges from the balcony to make a proclamation. And The rumor mill has churned up that a new proclamation is coming out today at noon, and a large amount of people are going there to protest. You guys, might have your own reasons for attending or not. The adventure assumes that you guys attend this protest. If you don't want to, that's okay, though.
Oh no, I'm going to this protest.
Yeah.
Yeah, you won't have any patrons. Basically, all the businesses you work at are, emptied, because the people who would go there are going to this protest.
I didn't want to go, but Garm's dragging me along.
Oh yeah, we're going to this protest.
Yeah. I was like, but I need to find some crystals, bro. And he's like, nah, dude, I can't leave you alone. You're coming with me.
So let me...
Watch from a sewer grate.
Just crawl out.
The grate just pops up, and all you see is two eyes.
If you want to, say, she would have certainly given you a room in the back of the tea house that you could be staying in, or the coffee house. The halfling there.
I think I stay in the sewers. I respectfully decline her offer. I'll come in for meals, but I live in the sewers and experiment with my...
So around 11 or something, Sezzix, you come in the back door, the way you usually do, through that hole in the floorboard or whatever that leads to a sewer offshoot. And she's the only one in the entire place. And she's kind of just putting some chairs on tables, closing up. And as you poke your head, and she's like, "What are you doing here? Haven't you heard? There's a big gathering happening over at the Opera House. I was just on my way there."
What's the gathering for? I've been in the sewers.
Well,
below.
Barzali Thrune, may his name be forever damned, which could be both an insult or a form of praise. Barzali Thrune, may his name be forever damned, is going to be giving another proclamation today in just a short while. I have some bread you can have, but sorry the kitchen is closed.
I appreciate the bread. I suppose I should see what this proclamation is.
Yes, she'll accompany you there.
In my sewers.
That would be the day. Oh yeah, she'll lead you out and lock up or whatever, and you'll see people on the streets going, streaming past windows and stuff like that, crossing the bridge. Some of them are paddling across the harbor and stuff like that to get to the park.
I'll use some secret connection that I know of through the sewers to get there real fast.
Oh yeah, as you open a sewer grate, she'll be like, "I'll see you there." I'm not going in the sewer.
Her response is "See ya."
So Aria Park is the largest public park. It sits just south of the famous Opera House. With relatively few trees, this open area is a favorite gathering place for musicians and street performers. It sits across from the Opera House, which is a decadent structure that was built centuries ago by a noble family. Until recently, the maintenance and ownership of this iconic location had fallen to the Victorian family. It's built in an old style, but with a distinctive red-tiled roof, which is how all of the buildings in Kintargo are made. However, it has become Barzali Thrune's home away from home. Since his appropriation of the Opera House, no new performances have been scheduled, marking the start of the house's longest period of inactivity since its construction. You know that it is so big it is capable of seating nearly 1,000 people. And you also know that 100 years ago, it served as the headquarters for the Silver Ravens. So he's almost making a statement by making it his home and closing it to performances. His very presence is an insult to the people of Kintargo.
I'm very interested in the Silver Ravens and always kept tabs on them because I just thought what they were doing was interesting.
Have you been here for
Are you over 100 years old?
No,
Okay. You might have. Oh yeah. Probably you've heard from other sewer dwellers and stuff like that. Maybe there's an old Master Splinter type Ratfolk that is blind and is I heard I heard the song of the Silver Ravens once. It was beautiful. Or something like that.
That sounds pretty accurate.
Yeah. Yeah, like maybe you have like a little carving, like you've got like a silver coin that you've like crudely carved into like a little bird or something that you like keep in your pocket. Yeah. So as you guys arrive, maybe you see each other in the crowd, maybe you don't. There is some descriptive text.
Come here. Push me to the forward.
I definitely, I see Tommy and, how do you pronounce your name, Anthony?
Caerrat.
Caerrat. I see you too, but I'm in my grate. I don't come out.
If anyone looks at Caerrat wrong, I just I'm a big swole dude, and I just like push him to the ground out of the way. Get out of the way.
No. You don't need to do all that.
Everyone here seems to be like relatively okay with each other. Dozens of Kintargans have gathered along the facade of the Opera House to protest the city's new Lord Mayor, Paracount Barzali Thrune. The city's new leader was appointed by her infernal magistrix, Queen Abigail II, in the wake of the previous Lord Mayor's sudden flight from the city, an event that has local rumor mongers whispering furiously. In a scant 7 days, Paracount Thrune has insulated martial law, a curfew, and seven outlandish and polarizing proclamations, one each day. These actions and more have called many of Kintargo's dissatisfied citizens here on this overcast morn. There's been no sign yet of Barzali Thrune himself, and the Opera House doors remain tightly closed, as they have since the man chose the landmark as his new home. But judging by the growing sound of protesters, surely he can't ignore the scene on the streets below for much longer. Yeah, there is a station of guards. There's a dozen Dottari stationed outside, and a scowling woman that looks to be in charge of them. That stand before the locked entrance of the Opera House. The guards appear nervous and edgy, but they're not like, pulling out tear gas and like, shooting protesters or anything like that. They're just like preventing people from getting inside the structure. And so far, no one has done anything violently. They're all just kind of like milling around about 30 feet away from this, waiting to hear what the next proclamation is, right? Because if you're up adjacent to the building, you couldn't see the balcony. But as you guys are there for a little bit, it becomes clear like he's not coming out anytime soon. And people, unfold chairs or like sit on park benches and start chatting and socializing, just like waiting for the next proclamation, as he's done one each day for the last 7 days.
Oh yeah, I'll sit around and like talk to some random folks.
Yeah, you could talk to people. You could there's a bunch, you basically do whatever you want. I have some ways to adjudicate it. Anything you choose to do, I'll say, takes about an hour for the sake of bookkeeping. So you want to talk to people, Garm? What do the rest of you guys want to do?
I'm the awkward like third wheel when Garm's talking to people, just standing there quietly. I have no input onto any of his conversations, but I have no one else to talk to.
Oh, so. I'll pat him on the back as he's like coming over. You need to talk to people too. We're here to help the city. It's important that we help each other. Go like help someone or something. I know you can do that.
Sure. Let me describe some stuff. There's groups of people that are dressed in like colorful outfits or have like actual musical instruments on them that are talking, and they're talking in a way that would be blasphemous to the rule of Cheliax. You also see there's some people that like look like they're from the docks, and it looks like they would be itching to like start hassling those guards, but they haven't done it yet. There's also did anyone select a trait where you have a contact?
Yes.
Yeah.
To double check.
That contact has told you, Seish, that your mysterious contact is said to be wearing a black leather glove on his right hand and no glove on the left.
Once I see him, I'll scurry out.
Oh, you haven't seen him yet. I'm saying you could look for him.
Yeah. Can I just like?
Yeah, I'm going through the rest of them, and then we'll break down and see what you guys want to do. You can also just like post up if you wanted to, and just kind of like take everything in. There's also a group of individuals, a couple of which are like openly wearing armbands of Cheliax, and the rest aren't, and they're like talking to them, and they're like pointing at the musicians and stuff like that, and they seem to be like agreeing with what Barzali Thrune has been doing here. So yeah, Garm wants to talk to, I imagine, the musicians.
Yeah, I'm gonna go hang out with the musicians.
You want to look for your contact. Cobra and Austin, what do you guys want to do?
Go ahead.
God damn it. So since I was shooed away by Garm here, I'm gonna just go looking for people. I'm gonna talk to them about the bells, and people are like, "Yeah, man, those go off," and I'm like, way too into it, scaring people.
Okay. And Austin, what do you want to do?
So I'm gonna be off to the side. I imagine maybe perhaps near the grate where Sezzix is.
Okay.
I don't know if he's like come out of the sewers yet, but I imagine maybe I've noticed him nearby, and I'm just gonna be watching.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, let's start with Sezzix then. Since you're the first one going left to right on my screen here. So yeah, you can begin looking for your contact.
As soon as I see him, I will come out.
Yeah, give me a perception check as you are looking for him. Oh man. You do a pretty methodical job of like clocking everyone. And you kind of do like a sweep going from one side to the other, like checking everyone and like keeping track of where they are. And it takes you, tens of minutes, but you don't believe your contact is here yet. Or if they are, they haven't put on the glove yet to like signal that it's them.
He hasn't put on his Cosby glove.
Exactly. However, you do know that there is something interesting about this crowd in general. The crowd's mood is agitated and discontent, but not overtly violent. You do notice a pickpocket, though, moving between members of the crowd.
I won't interfere with him unless he goes after Tommy or what was it, Sarah? Caerrat, yeah. I won't interfere unless he goes to either of them.
Oh no, you don't. You don't see him going for anyone there.
I'll just let him pickpocket who he wants then. They probably deserve it.
Yeah.
Shitty city.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. Moving down, Caerrat.
Oh man, that name doesn't. I can't figure out how to spell it canonically.
What do you want it to say?
Caerrat.
Sear?
Caerrat.
Caerrat?
Yeah.
You could just do sear and then the word it.
Do Caer. Like Saoirse.
Like that? Caerrat?
I think so. Yeah, I think that works.
Say yeah.
Yeah, so Caerrat.
So yeah, I'll go over and talk with those musicians.
Sure.
Yeah, as I'm walking up, are they currently playing music or just chatting?
I mean, so this is like a effervescent amount of time. It's like about an hour long or whatever. So there's some that are like playing instruments. There's probably a couple that are like hacky sacking or whatever. Just like the standard grunge scene. And there's like maybe a guy painting or whatever. There's kind of like an assorted group of people chatting about various rumors and things like that.
Oh yeah, then I'll go over and listen to a musician for a little bit. If he has a hat out, I'll drop like a copper in it.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you, sir. Go ahead and roll a d10 for me.
It's just thank you for bringing this into the protest. It helps everyone.
Yeah. He'll be like, he'll take the gold piece. The person you give it to is a younger man who looks like he's been living on the streets for the better part of a few days. He resembles kind of the way that Sezzix looks most of the time. You imagine this guy like lives day to day on the docks, maybe goes into the sewers from time to time. And he'll be like, listen, you seem like someone who worships one of them good faiths. I just want to tell you, I was hiding out by the docks and I saw some Dottari talking after they arrested someone for breaking one of the proclamations. They said that the guard towers are so full of prisoners that they're keeping those they arrest in warehouses. They said they've been putting prisoners to work in places like the salt mines over at Sallix.
They've been using prisoners as laborers?
Yeah, you didn't hear from me, though. I don't want to get in trouble. Yes. I will tell you, it's over here on the map, Garm. That box on the far left by the Ublis River, 03.
Yep.
That's the Salt Works. And he's like, yeah, the people I heard talking were basically like, I can't believe, like, where are we going to stuff these two? I don't know. The guard towers are full. We throw them in the salt mines, put them to work like the others. All right, sounds good. And they, like, clubbed him over the head and drug him out. Yuri. You are scanning the crowd. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Oh, sure.
A 15. So, you don't notice a pickpocket, but you do notice, that group that are, like, wearing the armbands. They kind of, like, chat for a while, and they keep looking over, like, at the musicians or whatever. And, a couple of them that are, like, wearing plaid clothes that they've been talking to, just kind of slink away and leave the protest. And then about 10 minutes later, you notice them emerge from the other side of the protest as if they're showing up. And they make their way over to, like, where the musicians are and start, like, bobbing their heads and, like, you know, dancing and stuff like that and hanging out with the musicians.
Interesting. I guess I'm going to make my way kind of around to where those couple of people came back, and I'll kind of hang out near them, maybe like 15 feet away.
Yeah, so over by where Caerrat is?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Also, did I notice Sezzix do anything?
Sezzix seems to still be, like, hunkered down.
Okay. I didn't hear that earlier, so I just...
Yeah, he didn't see his contact, so he was just hanging out.
Okay.
I await.
Tommy, who do you want to talk to about your,
I just go up to the first person who's willing to talk to me.
I mean, everyone's here chatting.
Then when Caerrat says, "Hey, buddy, go talk. Well, he's gonna go talk to the musicians. You know,
if you really want to go pick a fight, it looks like those bullies over there.
Oh, I am a bully.
Well, don't be a bully. We're here to help people. We're trying to make the city better. But that means we have to talk and we have to share with each other. We have to understand. Come on now, Tom.
But of course,
Talk to those mean boys over there. Maybe you guys will have a good conversation. I'll like point them to the guys that are like kind of eyeing the Dottari.
Okay, so I'll go over and talk to them, I guess.
the ones that are wearing like the Chelish national armbands,
I thought there was another set that were like kind of eyeing.
Oh yeah. There's definitely like a set of like laborers and stuff from the docks that are like they're like day drinking.
Yeah, that seems more like your speed, brother.
Yeah.
They're just waiting for a fight.
Yeah, you can go over and chat with them.
All right, so yep, I'll walk up to them and be like,
Remember,
"Man,
they're on our team. We're friends with them as long as you're not wearing the armbands. The armbands are the bad guys, okay?"
I'm not dumb. I'm just gullible. God,
You're not dumb, you asshole. He like flips you the bird and walks off.
You just got mansplained.
Yeah, you did just get mansplained.
I know.
Yeah, Cobra, you head over, and there's a couple of guys. As you walk up, one of them will shake your hand. It's got calluses on it. You know this is a working man's hand. You like give him a nod, is like you both
Armor,
like
bro.
you've probably seen each other like at some of like the auctions and like yeah, for like farm equipment or like livestock and stuff like that out in the greater Ravenel region. Right, that's the county that you're in. Friend, what brings you out here? Oh, he just came to hear whatever shit spews out of this dumbass's mouth next. I can't say that too loud. I don't give a shit what they say. Drink? He'll like offer you some from his flask.
No, thank you. No.
More for us.
So about them bells, guys.
Oh yeah. It's a famous thing, I think. Well, they used the chiming used to signify something. I think it's like magic. They just kind of go off whenever. Can't really hear them from out in the hills, though. Well, sometimes people hear them.
It's not whenever. It goes off certain times. I don't know what it means. Do you know what it means?
One of them will be like, my grandfather, he was around back in the Civil War, and he said the Silver Ravens had something to do with it. But I don't know. Maybe it had something to do with their magic. You know, they were bards, right? They weren't bards. I'm pretty sure they were bards. They maybe had bards in them. Weren't they bird people like the Strix? Because they were the Silver Ravens? Paul, you've had too much to drink. They don't seem to like know what's up with the bells. But go ahead and roll a d10. They definitely know some other stuff.
All right.
A 4. One of them will be like, if you're talking about noises, I've been hearing strange noises down at the old livery again. You know, Barzali's government's so, ass backwards that there's no way they'll be able to do anything about it. But, maybe if you're into figuring out what's up with noises, you could go check it out, and they'll all kind of chuckle. The old livery is at... Let me find it on this map here for you. It used to be a slaughterhouse, but it is not anymore. I think it's in the old district. But it's just like another point of interest for you to check out, if you want to in the future. It's all the way down here, Cobra. The circle on the bottom right of the map.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's been about an hour. You guys have been like chatting with the locals and things like that. Barzali still hasn't come out. The opera house still remains closed. The balcony is sealed. No one else has said anything. The guards are still standing fast. The one woman who seems to be in charge of the guards still looks like she has a stick up her butt. What do you guys want to do?
Do I see Caerrat and Tommy nearby?
Yeah, I mean, I don't imagine you guys stand exactly in that one square for an hour. You're probably milling about and doing other things as well. These are just the bullet point plot points that you're hitting, right? So you definitely can reconvene and chat with one another and get some street meat or whatever.
Yeah, when I see you come over towards the musicians, I'm so happy you could make it, Yuri. How are you doing today?
Caerrat, a pleasure to see you.
Always.
How's everything at the tea house, or not the tea house, the coffee house?
Oh, as energetic as ever. Dock work always going well?
Yes. We're making our rounds, making our deliveries.
Punctual as ever.
The bar's been quite busy as well.
I haven't heard the unfortunate news.
Oh yes. The bar down the street did unfortunately burn, but it does give us a little more business. So.
I do suppose that's why we're here. I'll say, kind of looking around.
Yeah. You'll notice as you guys are chatting, that group of people that Cobra was hanging out with, one of them has a sack with them. And Cobra, you're close enough to know it seems to be full of manure. And he's kind of been eyeing it and looking up there, and he's like, "What do you think, Paul? I'm pretty sure I could hit one of those windows. What do you think?" No, you shouldn't do that. And he's puts his hand in it and kind of makes a little clod and kind of tosses it, and then he's like, I think I could hit it. And then he puts it back in the bag and kind of dries his hands off. But they haven't taken any action yet. As this hour has passed, it seems as if the general crowd has gotten a little more agitated, but no one's done anything yet. Of note, as you continue looking, Sezzix, you don't see your contact. If he's here, he hasn't put on his glove to signify that he's here. As you enter the second hour, so if you wanted to do something else, you could. You've kind of clocked everyone here, so you know that your contact isn't among them, and you can do something else this hour if you want to.
And I know where Caerrat and Tommy and everyone are.
Oh, I'm
Are
not
they
hiding. It's pretty easy
Yeah,
to
no.
find me.
Are they still away from the pickpocket?
Yeah, the pickpocket you've seen, it looks like they were active for maybe like 20 or 30 minutes, and then they've slipped away. And if they're still here, they're not pickpocketing anymore. Or
Being less of a douche now.
I mean, if you consider theft douchey, I mean, I don't want to place labels on people's professions, Sezzix. Jerk. Yeah, no, there's no thieving going on right now. You said what you said.
I'll just like go and talk to Caerrat and Tommy, and as I continue to wait.
Sure, go ahead and roll me a d10. As you guys are chatting, someone from the drum circle will come over and will point over, kind of like surreptitiously, like kind of like look without looking sort of thing, like, hey, over my shoulder. Don't point. You see that woman there? The Dottari, she's not wearing a helmet?
Yeah, the one looks mean.
That's Nox. Nox is how it's spelled. Yeah, she's Barzali's like personal bodyguard. Yeah. She's too ugly to be human, I hear. She's half devil. I mean, that's just what I heard. No, not a tiefling. I know what a tiefling is. You're an Aasimar. Like, I can make a DC 5 knowledge local check. I know. No. She's
actually half devil.
I mean, look at her. She doesn't look human, does she?
I'll peek over. She doesn't.
Yeah, he'll kind of like give you a knowing nod and walk off. He reeks of Flayleaf. Take that for what it will. Serat, what do you want to do in this coming hour?
With the drum circle, apparently.
I mean, the drum circle, like, new people show up all the time. People leave.
No.
There's a good rumor mill happening here.
Yeah. Yuri, do you mention the agitators that joined our group?
Oh, yeah. I think kind of in passing, I'll make a note that like some people have been like suspicious.
Yeah, there's like two lean younger gentlemen that have been hanging out with you guys, kind of sitting off to the side, like not really chatting with anyone except each other, and kind of like just giving like general smiles and thumbs up and nods and stuff like that as the conversation takes political tones, but not really contributing anything of their own.
Yeah, we should have a conversation with them, Yuri.
To confront them.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing here, but if they were over there talking with the men with the armbands, I'm really concerned if they're on our side.
Yeah.
Should we find Tommy?
Tommy looks like he's about to get in trouble with manure. I think we just leave that to him. That's his profession.
That's his shit to do with that. Yeah.
Literal shit. Yeah, you can go over and talk to these two. As the two of you guys kind of come up to them, one will be like, dejected, looking down at his shoes, and the other one's, more or less keeping his wits about him, like nudge him as you guys come up. What's the good word, friend?
Oh, every day is a great word.
Oh yeah, just enjoying the tunes, brother. Pretty chill vibe you got going on here.
Oh, do you play?
No. I have a job.
Yes.
Ooh.
I'll just kind of take the hit and just like shrug. Yeah, that's fair.
I'll chime in. So what do you do then? What is your job?
Oh, my dad, he's my dad works at his estate. His dad's a noble lord. Yeah, of the Vencarlos. So he's got a pretty sweet deal, and I hang out with him. So I get paid though, to, part of his entourage, like a bodyguard. Yeah, Tim, you're my bodyguard. Yeah. Yeah, this is all right though.
Does he look bigger than me?
Oh, you? No, certainly not.
Okay. I'm like,
If you were to put it in terms, you have class levels, they have NPC levels.
gotcha.
They can never be as good as you mechanically.
Excellent.
They're baby people.
They're not real people.
I'll tap him on the shoulder and be like, "Oh, a bodyguard."
Yeah, you like tap him on the shoulder and he like kind of like crumples under like
Yeah.
yeah.
You must be new at it.
I mean, yeah. We're just getting into it. How do you guys think Lord Barzali Thrune's been doing so far?
Oh,
Best.
He is the best, yeah.
Absolute best.
I mean, we're just hanging out, you know.
Just hanging out, yeah.
Yeah, you can make a sense motive check.
Yeah, sounds good.
yeah.
I'm there
You guys
too.
are
Can
hanging
I?
out, man.
Sense motive isn't as good, but hey.
Yuri, that's a sleight of hand, but I think your wisdom is the same bonus, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so 15. Yeah, they one of them begins sweating, and you notice this. The one that's like the rich kid. Begins sweating profusely as you guys start like asking him questions. Garm, you don't know this.
Oh yeah.
I'll ask him to see if he's doing okay. Like, he kind of look a little sick, you know. Maybe you should go sit down or something. This heat might be getting to you.
No, we're fine. We're fine. Just waiting to see what the next proclamation is, you know. He's definitely like shifty.
You know when that proclamation's coming? We've been waiting here almost 2 hours.
It'll come when he's ready. You know, we don't need to pressure the guy. He's running a whole city. It's it's a little above your pay grade and mine, you know, frankly. So, what do? Huh? You look like maybe you could use a job.
Am I being offered a job?
Why don't you go stand over there? I'll give you a copper piece. Be the first honest money you probably ever made.
Oh, what a generous offer. I did. Yuri, you saw them standing somewhere else, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. You know, I do remember seeing them somewhere. I think they were over there, and I'll point to the group that.
Yeah, he'll stand up, being like a foot shorter than you, and kind of puff up his chest a little bit, and be like, "What? What are you like keeping tabs on me, bro? You telling me I can't go places?" You guys can make a intimidate check if you want to, or maybe diplomacy check if you want to try and resolve it more peacefully. But it seems as if this guy is ready to throw down, or at least start something that he can't finish.
Yeah, I'll give an intimidation check, and I'll kind of just like put my sleeves up just a little bit, show off some of my like arm muscles, and be like, "Oh man, well, we just like to keep tabs of what the going ons of things in the city sometimes."
Yeah, the guy will kind of break out in a more obvious sweat. He'll be like, maybe we should just get out of here. I don't. Yeah, Tim, this is okay. Look, we don't want any trouble. Man. And he'll back down, and he and the rich kid will kind of scamper off and leave the protest. As this transpires, one of the members in your kind of larger drum circle or whatever, one of the guys that was painting, will come over and say to you, Yuri, you know, I saw those guys over there too, and they came over here. I imagine they're trying to rabble rouse or, start something. See that way that guy's running? He's holding his leg. I think he's got a sword. It's tucked down his pants there. There might be more of these guys elsewhere. You seem like you're on top of this sort of stuff. Maybe you should keep an eye out for that.
I will.
Thanks. He'll like extend his hand.
Yeah, I'll shake.
I'm Grigori.
Grigori.
Yeah, he's like a man in his 40s. He's a little overweight. It looks like maybe in his day he boxed, but now he has like a more peaceful life. But yeah, so you guys do that. Tommy.
Painter, you said?
Yeah, he's just been painting the scene that's there. and there's like a gnome with him that has a quill and some parchment, and he seems to be writing down what's happening. And if you inquire, he's like, "Oh, I'm with like the independent press. We're just, chronicling what's happening today. We publish a free newspaper for anyone in town that's interested in reading." Tommy, you've been talking to some farmers. They get to the point where like they might be throwing turds, and then they back away from the ledge a little bit. What do you want to do?
I'm going to continue talking to them about the etiquette of throwing manure. It's a pastime on our farm. I throw them at my family members and stuff like that. It was a game of fun.
Oh yeah, we had horse apple contests all the time. He'll take the sack of manure, and you guys would go off a little bit away from the gathering crowd, and he'll begin like whipping him at a tree, and you guys can have like a little contest to see who like does better. Go ahead and roll a d10 for me.
All right.
As you're whipping horse apples. A 2. As you guys are doing this, someone that's like a member of this friend group shows up, and they look like they have been beat to shit. Their clothes are haggard, they're malnourished, they've got bite marks all over them. And as they like rush over to tend to their friend, who just kind of like staggers into the crowd, you discover that he was abducted by some guards for like rabble rousing a couple of days ago, and they locked him up. And he tells you that he was chained up, and they released dogs, and they bit the shit out of him. And the guards were like laughing, and they're basically like throwing raw meat onto him, and then like hitting the dogs with clubs so the dogs would bite him more. And after they did that for a bit, they pulled the dogs off him and drug him back out and like threw him on the street a few blocks away, and he hobbled his way here.
Can I yell for Caerrat to come and see what it is as a pre-med student himself? That this man is injured and we could use his assistance.
Yeah, Serat, you can easily like see your companion call for aid. You can rush over. The guy has like, let's say like 1d4 points of physical damage left on him. You have like dog bites, yeah. And you don't need to expend any resources, but you can patch him up.
Heal check.
Yeah.
Jesus. I'll like cover it in a bandage.
It's not good.
It's efficient.
Yep.
Oh, are these dog bites?
Yes, it is a practice that used to be known throughout this region. It's locally called doghousing, but it's a public excruciation. It's basically a public form of torture and shame to discourage other non-desirables for acting in the same way. And with this catalyst, the people are like, they're right on a knife's edge, Cobra. Like, one of them, like, leaves with him and, like, takes him back to his house or whatever. And the ones that remain, like, they're no longer joking and, like, throwing manure at the tree. They've set the bag of manure aside, and they've, like, gone off to their wagon. And they're getting weapons. They're getting, like, some knives. A couple of them have, like, some machetes or sickles. They're kind of, like, they're donning them. And they're not, doing anything yet, but you're confident they are going to do something at some point.
Do I have my weapons with me?
Oh, yeah. I mean, people have their, like, gear, but you haven't, like, drawn it and, like, attacked anyone, so you haven't been accosted. People like walking around with daggers for the most part, or clubs or quarterstaffs, simply because the better weapons would cost so much it would, like, be out of a lot of these people's price range.
Yeah.
But yeah. As you enter the third hour, now the attitude of the crowd has definitely shifted. There's these agitators that you've seen going around trying to kind of insert themselves throughout the crowd that Serat and Yuri have uncovered and foiled one of those attempts. There are these guys that are like, that Cobra's been hanging out that are definitely moments away from throwing down. Sezzix, your contact doesn't seem to be here.
What's wrong with him?
I don't know. He's just not here.
Do I have like a guess to what happened?
All you know is that the person you were looking for was going to be wearing a single glove, like Michael Jackson, without the other one, and no one has put those on yet.
Yeah, but do I think like maybe he got caught or something?
I mean, the climate of the city has certainly shifted from one of a calm, nice atmosphere where like people could live and speak freely to one that's becoming a lot more totalitarian and structured, where people that speak out are being, doghoused. So you could let your mind wander and your character could assume whatever they want. But you haven't heard anyone talking about like a guy with one glove being drug off or anything like that.
So I don't have confirmation, but I can guess.
Yeah, you can come up with whatever you think. But yeah, what do you want to do as we enter the third hour? You still want to just sit in your sewer grate?
Oh no, at the second hour I went and talked to Tommy and Caerrat.
Oh yeah. Have you remained out then?
Yeah, I'm just out,
okay.
Making sure no one's fucking with us.
Yeah, I mean, in general, it seems like the only ones here that are gearing up for war would be people that you guys would consider allies.
So I'm pretty chill then, just like looking at people, making sure no one's attacking us.
Yeah. Give me another perception check then as you kind of survey the crowd. And you're seeing for any of these ne'er-do-well elements, or maybe the thieves come back, or maybe your contact might show up. In 18, you notice that as you continue watching the crowd, and this will be the last hour out of game for you guys to know. In like the first half of this hour, nothing really to report. Go ahead and roll a d10 as you'll get a rumor. But at the end of this hour, you notice that cluster of like 15 people breaks apart of the people with the armbands. They have taken their armbands off and like stuffed them in their pockets. And they have dispersed and they kind of spread themselves throughout the crowd in the last like couple of minutes of this hour before something is going to happen. You will get a bonus on your initiative check when things happen.
Okay.
You overhear though that you overhear a couple of like gossipy women talking, and one of them says to the other, "Well, I heard the Lord Mayor didn't flee for Arcadia at all. She broke her neck falling down a flight of stairs, praying a bit too hard to Kalian, if you catch my meaning. Oh, that drunk." And they like continue like sipping their lemonade or whatever underneath their umbrella. I'll just make them like old Southern ladies. Yeah, Kalian, of course, the god of drink. So they imply that she died falling down a flight of stairs while drunk off her ass.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Caerrat, Yuri, what would you guys like to do? Oh, actually, just Caerrat. Yuri, I've got something for you.
Have we not talked to anyone? I feel like we've talked to everyone.
You've talked to everyone, but you can always try to gather new rumors. You could keep an eye out. Yeah.
I'll make a diplomacy check, talking around to people.
You just roll a d10.
Sick.
It's an hour, you're a likable guy.
Nice.
Someone will tell you that in the Temple Hill district, you should be careful traveling alone. There's gangs there that are getting restless. The Red Jill's boss, which is one of the gangs, has gone crazy.
Fantastic name.
Damn.
There you go. Yuri, you're hanging out with Caerrat probably as they're like walking around, chatting people up. You can see, the group you were keeping tabs on disperses and you lose track of them as someone comes up and like jabs you in the chest with a finger. Is like, "Hey!" and jabs you in the chest really hard. You look down and you see like a 4-foot tall dwarf, just completely bald with a nice disheveled beard, and as he looks up to talk to you and yell at you, the alcohol hits your nose like a wave, the smell of it. This guy is sloshed.
Yeah, he's had a little too much elderberry.
You work at Clenchjaw, don't you?
That I do. Have I thrown you out before?
That place has gone bad. I used to love drinking there. It's a nice place to relax, plenty of fine ladies. But since the Night of Ashes, it's been crowded and there's talk of politics. There's brawls every night. We got enough fighting on the streets these days. You gotta put a stop to this. Whoever's causing these brawls has ruined one of the last places we had to escape the violence. Just a matter of time before this new government shuts it all down. You should talk to your boss and tell him to keep better control of his patrons.
I will kind of look down at him and be like,
You looking down at me, son? I was slinging shots while you were still a glint in your father's eye. I'll fight you any day of the week. I'll put up his fists.
Sir, I think you need to go home.
Sir, my father is a sir. You call me Colonel McGlunty. And then he'll just fall over and pass out. Tommy. The guys you were hanging with have, abandoned the area they're at, and they go over to a wagon and start, loading up.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
I would like to, so as they're pulling out sickles and stuff, I pull out my sickle too. I'm like, look at mine. I already have it here with me.
One of them will, grab you by the wrist and, hold it down and be like, not yet, not yet. I know, you're eager to get these bastards too for what they did to Johnny, but it's not time. When the time's right, we'll all go at once. You're with us, right?
I don't really follow what's going on. I thought we were still talking about manure and farming stuff. So I'm like, yeah.
Good. One of them gets onto the wagon and pulls out a heavy crossbow and loads it, and then he throws a canvas over it and walks back holding a blanket in his arms that's really a loaded heavy crossbow. Yeah. They'll all kind of go back and they're just waiting for the opportunity. And a couple of moments after about the third hour occurs, you hear, Cobra, those damn bells. They ring out for 3 peals for no apparent reason, as is the norm these days. And a moment later, Barzali Thrune throws wide the windows and later the curtains to address the crowd below. Thrune is an imposing man dressed in red, orange, and black clothing with an ornate breastplate, all emblazoned with the pentagram of Asmodeus and the cross of Cheliax. Middle-aged, with short and dark hair, and a diabolical mace cradled in his hands, the Lord Mayor of Kintargo addresses the crowd with a condescending sneer. The gathering swiftly grows quiet as he clears his throat and gives the short speech. I also have art. Hopefully. Is it under images, maybe? Here's what he looks like. It's a super blown up image. Whoop. That's what Barzali looks like. I wish they would show this art in here. That's a map. Nope. That's not what we want.
How did he get all those scars on his head? Was he trying to shave his forehead?
Dude, probably. I don't know, devil shit. Just stuff that happens when you're doing devil stuff. I will throw this picture up in...
Maybe he went down on a hedgehog.
Yikes, bikes. Let me throw this here. Picture.
Really, Seishi?
That was a concerning sentence.
That was a concerning sentence. It would be more like a porcupine, probably.
I missed you, Seishi. God damn it.
Let me throw this up in our Discord real quick, as there is actual art of him coming out and talking to you guys, which is super cool. So, he comes out and reads the following, which I'll also post.
Wow, he doesn't look evil at all.
He even has a goblet of wine.
But of course,
He reminds me of Denathrius.
yeah, he's nowhere near as cool as Sire Denathrius. Big Daddy D. All right.
Donnie Two Dicks.
Ah, my adoring little chickadees. I'm sorry to say I've not yet adapted to your quaint country ways, being accustomed as I am to the sophistication and learning of Agorian. Nonetheless, know that I have heard your concerns, and I appreciate your valued feedback. And I know we shall eventually find a mutual understanding in the fullness of time. I take pride in updating Kintargo's quaint, outdated laws to the modern standards that your city deserves, and strengthening its ties with the Empire in these cruel times. But obviously I have approached my duties too aggressively. You say you chafe at the presence of non-natives in position of power, that authorities not of this city have no place as its leaders, that you will not be yoked by intruders. Your Lord Mayor hears you. And so it is with a heavy heart that I issue this proclamation in response to your demands. All ship captains are hereafter barred from leaving their vessels and setting foot on Kintargo docks or streets under pain of, let's say, squassation. Being crushed to death. So, this proclamation, seems to make no sense to your characters. No one has claimed about the immigrant problem in Kintargo, but he has, just said there's an immigrant problem, and don't worry, he's already solved it for you. You're welcome.
What, this really is Trump.
This is just like, they're Nazis, man. I can't do that.
So, as he says this, you also notice that rather than being imprisoned for violating this proclamation, the punishment is torture and death, which is certainly more aggressive. The crowd begins shouting. People begin, like, angrily saying things like, "What are you talking about? This means nothing!" A couple of voices are like, "It's about time someone deal with those damn elves coming across our border."
Are they gold and white?
And as the crowd kind of erupts into this nonsensical, riotous shouting, the tarp is pulled back from the crossbow, and before that guy can get his shot off, the guy who is throwing mud pies with you, Cobra, he lets one fly. He lets a mud pie fly, and it gets there. It doesn't hit him in the face, but it, like, hits him in the chest. And as it hits him, and, like, his body kind of, like, reacts to being hit by, like, what amounts to a snowball, he spills his wine, which also falls on his clothes, and he looks very upset, and, like, the crowd laughs as he gets hit by this clod of manure. And as, like, now his wardrobe is damaged, he takes his mace, and he, like, crashes it against the balcony there. He, like, crashes it against the railing, and he shrieks, "Enough of this! Nox! Run them off, arrest them, or kill them! I don't care which!" Before he pivots, steps back inside, and the doors slam behind him. We can roll initiative as you see those guys who took their armbands off throw off their cloaks to reveal, like, proud, chellish colors, drawing, like, maces and morning stars, as the Dottari draw their weapons in advance, and a giant melee breaks out between the rioters, the insurgents, and the city guard. And we can roll initiative.
I believe Sezzix has a bonus to initiative.
Sezzix, you get a +4 on this check. And I actually have a map for you. Oh,
Oh yeah.
Enough.
It
Kill
doesn't-
him, kill him, kill him, yada, yada, yada. Hooky day.
Heyo.
Let's throw
Dirty
these
20.
guys into here. I actually can roll your initiative for you. I can at least. You just have an option to roll all initiatives here. It's weird. Is it like a setting thing I have to turn on probably? Game GM. I don't know where this is in here. I'll figure it out later. You guys can just roll independently for now. Did it actually move your initiative, though? I don't think so, so I'll have to punch it in. Okay. 20. We got a 13 for Sezzix, 13 for Tommy. It was a 20 for Yuri. And then a 16 for you. Oh, that's your hit points.
That's HP.
Whoops!
I have 10.
You have 111 hit points now, Sezzix. The sky's the limit, boys! Okay. Perfect. Perfect.
I'm on initiative 16. I have 10.
Perfect. I mean,
11 points.
as important as that all was, you guys all go before them. Anyway. There should be a map, yeah. So, like, they put the map under the talking part, and then under the combat part, they don't have the map. You guys see that map?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yikes, bikes. This is not right. I think we want to do this. I think I just want to delete these guys out of here. I'm going to just hit the encounter button again, and then it'll throw them on this map for me. Perfect. Encounter. Place them here. That's not going to place them on the map for me. Monsters.
How dare they?
Why place you guys here? Oh, you guys are huge!
Huge!
By the...
You need to set a grid on.
It should automatically do it.
It is a fate grid, but you'll have to do your own.
Yeah, I mean, so it's just because it's a map that didn't have the encounter preloaded into it. All right, you guys can resize yourself. Or I can just do it, and then I'll lock token scale real quick here. 2. So let's make this. Whoa. You guys all disappeared.
Yeah, because you locked token scale, now we're in line with it, but we shrunk ourselves already.
Oh, I got you. So hold on. Let me just do this. I think if we just... Oh, I can just take you off of here. I think if I take you off and then put you back on, it'll fix it. I literally can't click on you because you're so fucking small, though.
Ironic.
Sorry. Ironic. He could lock tokens, but not his self. There we go. Does this look better?
Yeah.
Significantly.
Okay. Fantastic. So you see combat's breaking out all over. However, you can place yourselves wherever you want. Through the melee, there seems to be a group of these guys who are wearing those armbands or iconography or whatever, basically the seditionists that although I guess you're the seditionists, the nationalists that lock eyes with you, and they seem to want to throw down. So yeah. Yuri, you're up first.
Awesome.
This is what they look like. So they've like pulled off their clothes to reveal this. They have clubs.
Devoted to evil.
I mean, they're wearing the colors of the nation you live in, and they have like manacles or rope and clubs or like morning stars and maces and stuff like that to subdue criminal elements and bring them into justice.
Yep.
You sure there's not a third thing they do?
They are very proud people.
Very proud men.
Very proud men. Yes.
All right.
So yeah, what you want to do?
I'm gonna do that whole gladiator scene where Russell Crowe kind of like bends down and like picks up like a little bit of dirt, kind of like he's gonna get his hands all ready for fighting.
Sure.
I'll keep a little bit of that dirt though in my hand, and I'll approach this guy right here. And
Yeah.
we're gonna try and do a dirty trick for the first time. I don't know. You'll have to explain it to me because I think it's using CMB.
Yep, that is correct. That is right. So you'll roll your CMB against him.
Okay.
And then
with my improved dirty trick, I have a +2 to this.
Yep, you do.
My strength bonuses.
Yep, you have a +2 to it. And you're proficient in it, so it doesn't provoke.
Perfect. Okay. So I will roll the CMB onto Thug 1.
Yeah, it should have it all in there. Oh yeah, you totally hit. So, as you're striding up, there's that sack of manure, and you just grab a handful of it. And as you come up to him, he goes to swing his club at you, and you just block it with your hand and just stuff this manure into his face. He cries out, "Ah!" He is blind.
Perfect.
Sirach.
I only get one attack because I'm only level 1, though.
Yep, it's a standard action until you get the stuff that makes it quicker.
Yeah.
Does it look like everyone that doesn't want to fight has left this area?
There are more people on this map that are not being represented. There is an open channel between you and these people. There's people here. There's people here.
Everyone that's here is wanting to fight. Like, there aren't people, like, trying to get out or anything.
Oh, it's a madhouse. There's people trying to get out. This is the first moments of this combat. They're, like, the painter's, like, folding up his easel. The one with the quill is, like, cried out and spilled ink everywhere. The people with the hacky sacks and, like, the musical instruments, like, they're being broken and trampled as they start fleeing. The farmers seem to be engaging their own group of these thugs. The thugs are, like, clubbing citizens over the heads and knocking them unconscious, and then, like, tying their hands behind their backs and things like that. It's crazy. There's, like, children screaming. We
gotta deal with everything in front of us. Sick. I'll yell at Tommy as, like, I pull out a crossbow from my bag.
Oh, God.
I'll take a shot.
Sure.
I'll take a minus. Oh, I'm shooting into a crowd. I can't shoot that.
On the far side of those lines, it would be difficult terrain. Where you guys are, it's just an open channel. You can get to those people, no problem.
I think there's people north of us and south of us, but
correct.
I think in between, yeah.
Yeah, so you can shoot the guys on the right with no problem. They're not in melee. Or you could shoot the guy on the left that's not in melee with your companion with no penalty. He is flat-footed. It hits his armor, and, like, his eyes go wide as he'll point and be like, "That one's got a fucking crossbow!"
Tommy, get that one!
Sezzix.
Does this provide cover? The fountain?
Yeah, also the crowd that you're in right now.
Yeah. I blanked on the crowd part.
Yeah, the crowd will disperse each round away from your guys' little melee.
I'll step to right over here and then shoot 3.
With your gun?
Yes.
Sure. Go ahead and roll it up. That is going to be outside. You have a range of 20 feet, correct?
40.
Are you using a musket?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you pull this, like, rusted gun, this, like, blunderbuss out of your cloak. And, like, you light the fuse, and his eyes go wide, and you just shoot him with this fucking gun. Go ahead and roll your damage. Doesn't it do a D12 or? Oh, that's a hack button.
I'm small.
Oh yeah, he goes down. You blast this guy. He looks badly hurt. You, like, clip him in the neck. There's a spray of arterial blood, and he cracks to the ground. The one that's fighting you, Yuri, is like, ah! It's like he's now deaf too. It's like blood sprays on him. The other two on the other side are like, he's got a fucking gun! The guards' eyes go wide, but they're, like, on the other side of the crowd and can't get to you yet. Tommy.
Alright, I'm gonna move 20 feet here at the request of my homie.
You could charge one of those if you want to and make an attack this turn.
Oh, I'm just here to protect him for right now on this turn.
Do you want a ready to attack if someone comes up to you?
Ready to combat maneuver, yeah.
Okay, yeah, combat maneuver could be an attack, so you don't.
Okay.
I think you're fine just saying I want to ready an attack. Yeah. Challenge Citizens Group Thug 1. God, they have such stupid long names. This one will be like, his eyes will go wide upon seeing the person with the fucking gun. That's not okay. He will move over. It looks like he's going to head over to Sezzix. He'll enter your square, allowing you to take your ready to action. And you can try to trip him. So yeah, you'll roll your CMB against his CMD. That fails. It doesn't fail by 10 or more, so you don't lose your weapon. But yeah, so you stick your weapon into his legs, and he's like, "Whoa, dude!" He'll just swing his mace at you instead. He's gonna swing non-lethally at you. Does a 3 hit you? He doesn't seem to be proficient in attacking non-lethally. Doesn't seem to hit. Number 4 will go. Get outside him! Let's club him down! This one will move past provoking from you. You can make a trip attempt on an attack of opportunity if you would like.
Yep.
Yeah, do it up. Oh, by 1! You flip your you flip your scythe around and like try to clip his legs, and he nimbly hops over it. Kind of impressed himself at how well he did. And with flanking, he'll try to club you over the head non-lethally. A 14. Misses. You duck out of the way. Ah, rats.
Hey, that's me.
This guy, who has hit points still, he will swing his mace lethally but blindly at Yuri. It has so it will hit. On evens, he hits you. It looks like he's coming in for a solid blow, but you just easily dodge out of the way. And then as a move action, he will take a step back. He'll take a 5-foot step back and then like wipe the manure off his face with a move action. The other guy on the ground, blood sprays from his neck. He takes a point of damage. At the end of this round, some other stuff happens. You see someone in the audience. You catch the glint of a blade in flight as someone hucks a dagger through the guard and knocks that woman in the throat. So, like, the dagger hits her in the throat. She, like, grabs it. Blood sprays out. She, like, rips it out of her neck. Ugh! And she pivots and opens the door to the opera house. She, like, pivots, drops her hand, and, like, opens with both hands the door to the opera house. Both you guys, everyone can make a perception check as she does this. And then she darts inside and closes the doors behind her.
Was that the half-devil lady?
Sezzix, you notice.
Yeah. Half devil lady, second in charge.
And you might be the only one. Yuri as well. You notice that, like, so she gets hit with this dagger. There's a spray of blood. She rips it out. She opens the doors with both hands. You see the wound is not spraying blood anymore, and it seems to have already closed. She steps in and closes the doors behind her.
That's some witchcraftery.
Round 2, Yuri, you're up. Austin, you're muted, I think.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear Austin.
All right. Oh, I'm muted. Whoops, I plugged myself. Carry on, Austin, please.
We're good. So the guy that got shot probably looks pretty bad. I don't think I'm going to worry about him all that much.
Yeah, he'll probably bleed to death or be trampled.
Yeah. I'm going to go straight to Thug 1 again, and let's do an attack now.
Sure.
Be this one.
The crowd has moved back a little bit. Maybe like 10 feet or something. Oh, yeah. You easily hit.
Cool.
I think you have Brawler's Flurry at level 1, don't you?
No, not yet.
Okay. Is that lethal or non-lethal?
Brawler's Flurry is 2.
Okay. You don't get a penalty for doing non-lethal if you want to.
Okay. It'll be non-lethal. I'm not really looking out to kill. I'm a bouncer. I don't kill.
Yeah.
people.
You punch this guy in the kidney and he coughs up part of his lunch and winces and like doubles over in pain. From all you've seen, this guy's probably out of the fight. Caerrat.
I'll yell at Tommy. Tommy! Yeah, I don't know. You seem in trouble. They're still hitting like non-lethally, right?
They have been so far. Tommy looks fine. No one
He looks fine. I'll just delay.
Okay. Sezzix.
So if I shoot 4, there's no penalty, right?
He's in melee, so you'd have a -4 unless you have precise shot.
Yeah, that's 3.
4 and 2 are both in melee with Tommy.
As long as they're in melee with someone, I get that.
Yes.
-4.
Correct.
Okay.
But it's against their touch AC, so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I have grit.
It's always against touch AC, I believe. Maybe you have to have 1 point in your pool or something.
That's what Anthony told me.
Gotcha. I think firearms are just always against touch AC if they're in the first range increment, even for non-gunslingers.
Oh, I'll figure that kind of thing out.
Because they're just guns.
Yeah, they are just guns.
Yeah, do it up.
Touch him with the bullet.
Easily hits his touch AC. Go ahead and roll your damage. So as a move action, you load your firearm. Yeah. The guy that came up and tried to club you, Tommy, you like look behind you because now you're gonna have to fight on both sides. You know, you got into a tavern brawl once as a kid where the Johnson twins got on either side of you and one of them whacked you over the skull while the other one flipped your legs out from under you, and you're like, man, it's gonna be hard to defend against this. And then the dude next to you gets like his ear blown off and there's a spray of blood and he just collapses to the ground. There's a second super loud noise.
I'll take my delayed action and scream out as I see this man's face explode. I'll make a heal check to stabilize him.
Sure.
+2, I have a heal.
Yeah, you step forward, you stabilize him. You're like, oh god, you like pull out a bandage. Tommy.
Alright, I'm gonna take a power attack
I'm just
on
like giggling.
you.
Whoa.
Put that away. We've won. It's okay.
When you say that, I'll be like, oh.
So,
Oh.
I destroyed this man.
Are you... Oh my god! So this guy, he like lowers his guard as his friend is like lying on the ground, and you take your scythe and you put it like underneath, in between his legs, like underneath his groin, and you just kind of like lumberjack rip up as if you were starting to swing an axe, and you keep your scythe nice and sharp, and it cuts through this leather, no problem. Cuts through flesh, cuts through bone. You bisect this man, and he like collapses to the ground in 2 chunks, and there's just a huge spray of gore.
Is the crowd still around to see this?
The crowd has stepped back. The guards, though, that are like, let me draw a box. The guards, which are like up in this area, 15 feet away from this building, that have been like beating protesters and manacling them. A couple of them you see, have been fighting, with their clubs or whatever. They draw like their pikes and their flails, and they start advancing on you guys. You think that, so this is the end of round 2.
Many of them die of heart attacks after that.
They're mired right now, kind of shoving their way through combat. You could stay and fight if you want. It looks like they're not quite on the map yet. But they are definitely, they've locked eyes with Cobra and Sezzix. Like, they know who they're coming for, and they're not, they've already used their manacles, Garm. They don't need any more prisoners. But yeah, would you guys like to flee?
Yeah,
I'm good for fighting or fleeing.
We run, boys. That's enough. That's enough. Enough's happened.
Yeah.
I'll trust you in this.
Yeah, Austin, you just like shove the guy you're next to and he doubles over in pain. And you guys can, you basically enter the crowd and leave on this tide of people that are running away. The sewer grate that you would have gone back into, Seish, has like an unconscious person across it. So you get swept up with the rest of the party along the railroad tracks as you leave. In the distance, you hear Nox's voice call out as the doors open, and maybe you catch a glimpse of fire as she seems to have a dog that is entirely on fire. And she says, "Get him, boy!" And gouts of flame begin shooting out of the dog's mouth, and you hear people, like the farmers that were still fighting or whatever, they like catch on fire and scream, and like the crowd begins dispersing a couple of rounds after you guys leave.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Hellhound.
indeed. You guys, race away for a couple of rounds, duck into like an alley or whatever to try and like get off the beaten path, and you can catch your breath. Everyone make a perception check at this point.
I'll take.
Does this still count?
Okay.
Does this still count as part of the protest?
The protest is over. But it's like literally seconds later.
No, I asked because of my meeting a contact, I have +2 during it for perception.
Yeah, you'll get +2.
Then 2 to mine.
So all of you notice, you hear the sound of steel against steel from like the end of the alley behind the dumpster. So like you can see there's people fighting like maybe 60 feet away from you, but you can't see what it is. And it sounds like one person like fighting against 2 or 3 attackers. And then you hear a cry of pain and like the sound of someone collapsing into like some trash cans. And underneath, because you're lower to the ground as a Ratfolk, you can see underneath the dumpster and you see the guy collapse, Seish. They are wearing 1 glove.
Incredible.
Oh, yo.
With your
Oh,
+2
yeah.
on that check. But yeah. What would you guys like to do?
We need to help him. That's my guy.
Not even really caring about that. I tap Caerrat on the shoulder, and I'm like, all covered in blood. I'm like, "Are you mad, buddy?"
Listen, we'll talk about it later. We need to go help that man right now. Please just try not to kill any more of them, okay?
Can I like slide under the dumpster?
Yeah, we'll use this same map, and I'll just make the alleyway on here.
Can I slide under the dumpster and like get a stealth shot on them? Does that do
No,
anything?
we'll roll initiative.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
Sure you're not mad, buddy?
You are not that small. The dumpster's like maybe 6 inches off the ground.
I promise.
You could lie on your belly, Seish, if you wanted to, and like lie prone and shoot underneath it with no penalty, I would say, and you'd have improved cover. But
Sure.
all right, so you guys are all here. Let's go ahead and delete these boys out of here. I hope you liked fighting those guys.
They're quick and easy.
Oh my god.
They didn't stand a chance.
Didn't stand a chance.
You're.
When you hit the
you
button
did so
twice.
much damage. You could have just killed them all with 1 attack.
If they were all sitting on top of one another. The classic strategy of convincing them all to share the same chair before you bisect them. Yeah, I mean, those guys were definitely not ready for whatever y'all were. For some reason, these guys don't have the same tokens. They just have the letter T for their name, which is kind of frustrating.
T for thug.
T for thug. Yeah, there'll be an unconscious dude in the middle of them. I will draw a square. Boop. There's a guy here that they have beat up. And here is the dumpster. So you guys like saw him. Can I move this shit? Well, I'm gonna delete this then. Oh my god.
It's getting bigger.
This is so tedious. I just wanted to put this like on this side. There we go. There we go. Now we're thinking with portals, boys. Boom, there's the dumpster. There's the boys. Y'all see each other. Roll initiative. I want to figure out how to roll on initiative because this is going to be awful if I can't. It's probably just a setting. Look it up.
Oof.
Ooh, that's a fun one. I'll let you guys take care of this.
Yeah, I mean, there are 5 of them. I'll figure it out after this game. Okay. 5, 3, 18, 7, and 15. All right, top of the round. My boys go. This one's gonna be 3. Thug number 3 will go. Seeing you guys, you notice, Garm, that their maces are covered in blood. Their manacles don't seem to have been used. They are not attacking non-lethally. This guy will just come up to here, and he'll like, kind of like thumb his weapon and ready in action. As will this other guy. As will old number 2. Boop. Tommy. You're up.
Alright. I'm gonna use 2 move actions.
Yeah.
Right here.
Sounds good. Seishi.
Shooting them, they now have cover from Tommy, right?
Yes. Or the dumpster. Or you could lie prone and shoot underneath the dumpster.
Since I'm so slow, I don't really have time to get to the dumpster.
I mean, it's a... Yeah, you could move to here, and it's a free action to go prone.
And then I can go prone and, like, shoot too?
Yep, and he wouldn't have a penalty. I'd say he'd be flat-footed, but it's, you're shooting his feet.
Is his ankle's just gone?
Jesus Christ! Yeah, you, like, blast him in the femur. How do you have a bonus to damage? It's a better question.
It's finesse weapon for me.
Oh, that's not how that works.
Is it not?
No. So you use your bonus to hit, but not to damage. You get your dex to damage at level 5 of Gunslinger.
Oh, is that what this is?
That's what Gunslinger training is later on. So yeah. So that explains. Okay, so your gun doesn't do nearly as much damage, but you still shoot him in the frickin' leg. He's not happy.
Yeah, toppling.
Yeah, he like winces in pain and like begins spraying blood. This guy will run up here and he will attempt to clamber on top of this and move past you, Tommy. You can get an attack of opportunity if you'd like. He's gonna move. He's gonna move acrobatically though. Huge. Let me roll this d20. Does a 17 beat your CMD?
My CMD?
Yeah.
Yeah, it 20 beats my...
Yep, he'll just clamber over it and drop down on the other side. Caerrat.
Guy looks mean.
Yes, they all look mean.
They look very mean. I mean, I have a crossbow.
Yes.
And Sezzix is prone. Yeah, I'll just shoot over Sezzix into this one that just jumped over.
Sure.
I'm on the board, boys. We're on the board.
Hey.
Yeah, I'll yell at Sezzix to keep his head down as I shoot over him.
Yeah, I mean, you fire a crossbow bolt into that guy. He cries out as the small projectile wings him in the shoulder. Ah! All right, number 5 will go. He'll run up and just attack you, dog.
Okay.
Get in with that mace. A 12. It swings over, it sails over your head and smashes into the side of the dumpster. He gurs in anger. Yuri.
Yeah. So I'm going to just move straight ahead. I'll kind of crawl over like walk over the prone Sezzix, and I'll just punch him in the let's aim for the throat.
Whoa. It's pretty aggressive. Yeah. You hit him. You strike him truly.
Excellent.
Yeah, you like dome this guy in the throat. You're trying to like drop him in a single blow, but you don't have a lot of power in there as he manages to get out of the way of some of it. But you still tag him and he whacks back into the dumpster. It looks like he's going to return the favor on his next opportunity.
Actually, I have a terrible AC. I don't think I have any armor.
This one will step up. He'll attack you, Cobra. You have cover, so I'll give myself a penalty on the attack roll. Tries to swing around the corner. A 13 misses. This guy will go. Seeing his friend go over the top, he thinks he can do it. He'll make an acrobatics check. He'll provoke from you as he clambers onto this dumpster, Cobra. You can attack him if you wish. He has cover from you, though, so he'll have a +4 to his AC as well, which will apply to his CMD. Oh, no. Oh, you're just tripping him?
Oh, blessed be. Oh, God.
Yeah, so good thing it wasn't, he wasn't trying to attack him that time. So this guy, like, shoves past his friend, climbs on top of the dumpster, and, Cobra, you take your scythe, and you hit him with the butt of it, and he hits into the wall and then falls flat on his back, and just falls through, like, I imagine the dumpster is probably made out of metal, and then the top of it is, like, wood. So he just crashes through, like, the equivalent of plywood in this fantasy setting. And he just, like, crashes into the dumpster. So he'll be prone inside there. Tommy, you're up.
All right. I'm going to take a power attack at the person in front of me.
Oh, no.
Try not to kill him non-lethally, please.
Oh, it's lethal.
Fair enough.
You put all of your might into it, and because of that, almost, your attack misses. And he steps to the side as you, like, scrape your scythe against the ground. He looks very concerned. Sezzix.
Can I just shoot 3 again? Like, through Yuri's legs?
Yeah, he would have cover, because there's 2 people in front of you now. But, yeah, so while you're lying there, you, like, reload your gun, and then fire at 3 again. Do it up. That will hit. Is that with your -4?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally hits. You shoot him in the other leg and he drops to the ground. Oh no, this is a different one. You shot 2 before and 2 went on top of the dumpster. Haha, I'm safe from you because I'm inside the dumpster, you maniac. Yeah, I mean, he looks badly hurt. 4 will go. He's not liking this one bit. Yeah, he'll swing into you, man. Ah! Oh, he manages to strike you with his mace. Get some damage on him. 3 damage, boys! First damage of the campaign! Woo!
Oh, we're both on the board, Walter.
Turning the tide! Yeah. After cracking you, he will 5-foot step closer to this guy with the gun that's on the ground. Number 1 will go. He will regret not having a... He'll just wait, I guess. He'll delay. Serap.
Is number 1 just, like, not doing anything?
Number 1 delayed. He's waiting to see if his companions get past or go unconscious. And then he'll move up to fill the ranks rather than doing nothing for a turn.
Sure, I'll take a -4. I'll take a crossbow, or I'll delay until someone goes down. I'll make a diplomacy check trying to get him to surrender.
Yeah, you can begin trying to talk him down.
Yeah.
Number 5 will go.
Fucking hipsters.
We don't need to kill each other. We're all just here trying to live in this city together.
The one that's squaring off against you will be like, you can surrender! This one swings and misses against Tommy. He'll take a step back. The other one that was delayed will undelay, and he will come up. And... whoops. It's also supposed to be a 3. And now he'll come up and swing in at Tommy with his mace. 2 attacks a turn. That's 6. Got him, boys. Yuri. You're having a pretty good row with this guy.
Yeah, we're going to keep going. I think this time we'll go for like an uppercut.
Sure.
The prize fight?
Yeah.
Are you old-timey boxing?
Yeah, I like put up your dukes, you know?
Yeah. Do you take your shirt off?
Yeah!
So like maybe like move action, you're like, all right then, you take off your tunic, standard action punch him.
Yeah. So like I have a like maybe a button shirt or something, but like most of the buttons are off anyway. So I just like unbutton 2 of them and I'm like, all right, I don't want to dirty my shirt.
as you dab the blood off your forehead from getting hit in the head with like a fucking mace, but not going down.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I guess since we're talking cosmetics, I've also got like a nice little curled up mustache.
Oh, but of course.
Yeah, really short hair on top. I never mentioned this earlier, but I do have like a slight Russian accent to my English.
Very good.
I think you play League of Legends. It sounds probably like Braum.
I think everyone here plays except me.
Yeah, everyone but Walter does.
I know who that character is, though. He's the guy with the shield that throws people over him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he has a shield, but
his shield is a door.
Oh,
Colossus
okay.
Think Colossus from Deadpool, maybe for you.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I sound like. Anyway, yeah. So I punch him, I hit him, and I deal.
Lethal, non-lethal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like uppercut him, and he like does the thing where like he rolls his eyes back in his head, and he like sits down and then slumps over to the side. His weapon clatters out of his hand. Number 3 will go.
Is he knocked out? Sorry.
Yeah, he's knocked out. He'll swing again over the side. His mace head like snaps off as he's like trying to hit you around the side of the dumpster, and he just whacks it on the side and like damages his weapon, and it's like all bent now. Number 2 will go. He will stand up. He has cover from you because he's inside the dumpster. He will move, and then he'll clamber out the other side, and that'll be his turn. Tommy.
All right, I'm gonna power attack 1.
Okay. Oh no.
Damn it.
Oh no!
He's dead.
Oh no! Not again!
What up?
Yeah, so the last round, like the guy swung at you and missed, and then the other guy came up and like tapped him on the shoulder, and he stepped back so that this guy could come up and like swing at you. He overextended, and as he leans forward, you just kind of pull the scythe behind your head, and you do all of your strength that you possibly can, and you drive it into the back of this guy's head, and you just like cut the top half of his torso off. He's super dead. He goes to -47.
That's 3 d20s already. That's 3 20s already.
Sezzix. Cobra's cheating over here.
Rig the system.
Cobra's rigged the system.
I think I've rolled a 5.
Jesus. Sezzix, you are prone, and your gun is unloaded next to a guy who has a weapon. Oh no, he's unconscious. You're fine.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep, I'll turn him upside down.
I'll load and shoot 3.
Yeah. 3 or 2? The far one? Okay. That will miss. Woohoo! We still got a chance! Unconscious. Caerrat.
Please, no more violence. Everything's gone as well as it can. Just let it be over. You don't want this fight. Please.
Number 5 will go. As he's like looking down, you see a trail of urine come down the inside of like his right thigh and trickle out by his ankles. As he kind of is shaking there with rage and terror. Cobra, what does your expression look like upon killing this man?
Just 1,000-yard stare, blood on the face.
Just like butchering hogs. Yeah. He'll drop his weapon and flee. Yuri.
So it looks like I got another contender here.
You do.
Yeah. Well, I think this time we'll do kind of like we'll try and find a spot kind of in his armor where I could maybe get like a side punch in.
Yeah, I mean he's just wearing like leather.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be too hard. Oh yeah, easily.
Excellent. This was non-lethal, by the way. Yeah, 6 damage there.
Yeah, I mean, so like he's wearing this armor which provides him protection, but the downside is it's cumbersome. And you just kind of like grab on to like the scruff of his armor, slam him into the dumpster there, and just jab him in the kidneys. And he winces in pain and just crumples over. He's unconscious.
Nice.
As you bounce him as well. Number 3 will go. He will drop his weapon and flee, Cobra.
Okay.
Number 2, they're both unconscious. Combat is over unless you wanted to chase these guys down that are running away.
Nah.
I don't think we need to.
I'll begin to, but after hearing...
No, Tommy, we've won.
Yeah.
Don't chase. Help the man on the ground. I'll go over to the contact.
All right, Seishi, you've fired like 5 bullets. Oh, yeah. Oh, you are keeping track. Look at you. The most tedious class. Yeah, combat is over. The one that's dead is dead. The ones that are unconscious and stable because they went down with non-lethal damage.
I'm going to take a little bit of rope that I've got, and I'm going to bind both of these two.
They conveniently gave you manacles.
Yeah, they have manacles on them.
Oh, okay. I'll just use their own manacles against them. Yeah. And I'll put like I don't know, a dirty sock into their mouth so they can't dodge.
Sure. Do you want to take their stuff?
Sure, at least weapons, and if they have.
Their armor and weapons are rather nice. And they have some gold.
Oh yeah, we're looting
Oh, yeah.
them. Like
We'll loot.
Okay.
Even nothing but like their underwear.
Okay. I will move their stuff on over. And you guys got 3 units of this. You got 3 maces. You only got 2 suits of studded leathers. One was cut in half.
fair.
Yeah, as Cobra did 40 damage to the armor when it became when the person wearing it became an object, Garm.
We can make leather strips out of it.
You can have as many leather straps as you want if you want to rifle through the Attack on Titan remains of this person.
Of the gore bag.
The gore bag.
You never know when you need some leather straps.
Yeah. This guy on the ground is unconscious. And as you kind of like go up to him, you notice that the thugs ran away, and there's a sign of a scuffle further down, like over here where I'm putting these markers. You see 4 more thugs that are like heaped over on the ground. It doesn't look like anyone has looted them, but they are unconscious, and it looks like this guy fought off 9 of them and dropped 4 before going down.
Damn.
Holy shit.
So you can loot those guys as well.
Yeah. Once Caerrat starts like healing the contact, I'll go loot them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have Tommy come over here and like stand over top of me as I quietly pray, and I'll channel positive energy.
Yeah, I'll protect him. Although I think it's more to just keep me out of trouble, but I'll protect him.
Yeah.
Take 4 healing.
Do you want to... Oh, you want to heal a guy on the ground as well?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. His eyes open. And he's got art. He looks like this.
Ooh,
Rexus.
His name is Rexus.
Rexus.
Oh. He'll like sit up and kind of like wheeze, and he's like, And you might, Garm, Caerrat's like, oh, let me heal you again or something, because like he's wincing in pain, and as you like go to like cast another spell, he's like, no. I pulled my quad fighting off those thugs. It's been a while since I've been in a tussle like that. And kind of like roll his shoulder a bit and stand up. Apologies. Thank you. Can I know the names of my saviors? I'm Rexus Vitacora of House Vitacora.
As I'm over here looting, I'm Seishi. I'm the guy to meet.
Perfect. Well, let's not talk here. Good. As he sees you like collecting their trinkets and their armor, and he's like, strip them of those weapons for sure. I'm sure they'll find something else to kill each other with. I have a place we can hide out while this blows over, and we should talk.
Agreed.
Yeah, if you guys are willing, he will lead you through the alleyways to a building.
Yeah, I'm down
of
to
course.
follow.
Yeah, he will lead you to a bookstore not far from Aria Park. It is known as, and I'll throw it on the map here, as you guys are going to be getting used to Kintargo. Whoops.
Can you bring the map back up for me
Yeah, I gotta.
earlier?
It's not listed under Kintargo. It's like.
Thank you, sir. Forgot about the healing.
Well, do you know
If-
how I heal other people?
With spells?
Like how I automate it. Okay, that's how I do it.
Yeah, you just put it on them, I think.
Okay. Do you know how I do that for channel positive energy?
I think you have to direct it onto. Here you go. I think you just have to. You create pointers or whatever. You make a spell that targets multiple things, and you make them all targets. You could ask Jitzel because he does it.
Yeah, I'll bother him about it.
But yeah, in the meantime, I can just manually do it if you haven't already. So how much did you heal everyone for with the channel?
Oh, 4. Everyone's fine.
Okay, you got it. All right, cool. Yeah. So you guys were at the park over here in J4, and you have fled now to a bookstore, which was nearby, which was right here. The circle to the north of the park there.
Gotcha.
Chrysari's Fine Tomes that offers a generous and discreet backroom policy. As you guys go in there, he like gives a nod to the shopkeep, reaches into his pocket, throws out a gold piece and flicks it to her. She goes over and like closes the door and turns the sign to closed, and you guys go into the back room as she's like closing the curtains and stuff like that and locking the front door. Well, thank you again for the timely rescue. Truth is, our meeting was no coincidence. I followed you from the protest earlier today, but in the panic that erupted, I lost track of your group. You proved yourselves to be of uncommon skill, and I'm a man of uncommon needs. As I've said, my name is Rexus Viticoria, and until last week's Night of Ashes, I was one of this city's nobles. My parents' estate burned to the ground last night. I escaped simply because I was studying at the academy during the fire. There were other fires that night, as you well know. Fires that, I believe, were started by Barzali Thrune or his agents, in an attempt to squash any spirit of rebellion Kintargo might have. Now more than ever, though, we need that spirit to stay strong. Thrune's actions have driven into hiding those who would stay strong and resist. Those who could once rally the city to a cause, such as the Lord Mayor Gilia Bonalius, and my parents are missing at best, and more are likely dead. I can't do this alone, but our city needs heroes once more, and I think you could be those heroes. What say you? Will you aid Kintargo? Will you help save our city from the devil itself?
That sounds like a lot of work, but
Your family's estate was burned down in the Night of Ash?
Oh, yes. They were an outspoken opponent of Thrune and his machinations.
Are you with the Silver Ravens?
Far too young and handsome to be the Silver Ravens, but Well, maybe we could. No. Listen, we're not the Silver Ravens. We'll have to be something else. A new movement for a new time and a new place. The Silver Ravens were dealing with a civil war. This is an oppression. There's not a war yet. That was just a riot. Maybe we could prevent things from spiraling out of control. But
We can cause a civil war.
Seizzix.
in the interest though of
Is Rat Boy.
in the interest of placing all our cards on a table, I have something you might find of interest. He will pull out a small box. I wonder if it's on here. He'll pull out a small wooden box. It seems to be of fine quality, and it is singed. It looks like he probably recovered this from the fire that claimed his parents' estate. He cracks it open, and inside, there is a bunch of stuff. There's a signet ring, there's a nice dagger in a sheath, there's a set of bracers, there's a mithril key, and there's a note. And he takes the note, and which one of you looks the most scholarly? He hands it to the only person that's not a martial class. I'll hand it to you.
I start to button my shirt back up, the 2 buttons.
Yeah, I imagine you just had your shirt like in your back pocket or something, as you like put it back on.
Like as we enter the bookstore, I'll just be like, well, I guess we're done.
He hands you this note, which I will read so you don't have to. I retrieved this from my mother. I believe she was part of a secret society known as the Sacred Order of Archivists, a band of Aurorian scholars dedicated to the protection and restoration of history. The note reads, My dearest son, if you are reading this, what I have feared has come to pass, and I am dead. For many years, I have belonged to the Sacred Order of Archivists, and have worked to free Kintargo from Chelish rule. I have learned much of Kintargo's secret history, and fear the time will soon come when the city needs the return of its Silver Ravens. You've likely not heard of the Silver Ravens, few have. Mentions of them have been redacted by agents of House Thrune, but during the Civil War, the Ravens worked to ensure Kintargo's safety. They were heroes in their day, and I fear that Kintargo needs their kind again. Do not believe the government claims that Lord Mayor Benalius abandoned us. Darker things are afoot, and I fear that all who work against Thrune may find themselves in danger in the days ahead. The Silver Ravens maintain numerous hideouts within Kintargo's walls during the war. I have located one such site. The chambers below a building known today as the Fair Fortune Livery. If you are reading this, I was unable to seek further answers there myself. Gather heroes to your side, my son, and search below the livery. There, if my research is correct, you'll find something to teach you more of the Silver Ravens and their legacy. Do not let my death be in vain. Stand up for Kintargo. Bring the Ravens back to life. So yes, as you talk about, are you remember the Silver Ravens? He's like, no, but we could be. We could be something more.
We could start a whole revolution.
As you...
We heard there were strange noises coming from it.
Huh, I wonder if those things are related. He does the Home Alone thing. He doesn't do that because he's far too cool. But if he was a caricature of himself, he would do the Home Alone thing. He's like, I knew you were the right ones for the job, already looking into the goings-on of Kintargo on your own. What am I even doing here? He slides the box to the middle of the table with a chuckle. Take all you will, though that, he'll take the key. This has some sentimental value. I'll hold on to this for now. He offers you the rest as a sign of good faith. There's 150 gold, signet ring of his family, which you could sell for some gold. The dagger is made of silver and is masterwork, and has the crest of his house on it, and beautiful iconography running along the sides that denote it's of like high bearing. So even though it's like a masterwork silver dagger, it's probably worth a little more if you wanted to sell it. And the bracers there are magical, and they are bracers of armor +1. He will tell you, since the note didn't, that basically the Sacred Order of these archivists are an offshoot of Aurorian scholars. Aurori is the neutral deity of knowledge and self-perfection and stuff like that. Cheliax being a recently, geologically speaking, in the last 100 years, a recently evil empire has done a lot of redacting of history and erasing things like the Silver Raven and the Silver Ravens and all they did, as well as other heroes that may have done stuff in the past or other secrets that they don't wish to come out. Especially House Thrune did this, eliminating a lot of their opposing noble houses, like estate holdings and things like that. So this Aurorian order, the Sacred Order of Archivists, has to be in secret when they operate in Cheliax because what they're doing is effectively illegal, trying to maintain and preserve history for the sake of having knowledge. So his mother belonged to this organization, which is likely why their house was burned down.
Makes
So yeah, the treasure here. Perfect. I can just throw this in your party sheet.
Tommy, do you care about those bracers at all?
I would like them, but if you're not wearing armor yet, you should put them on. Can you wear armor normally?
Cosmetically speaking, I don't really wear armor. Like, I've got leather armor, which is like, I've got some leather bracers, maybe like some...
If you want to wear like light armor, Austin, and have it be the male equivalent of the chainmail bikini where you're always showing off your temple that you've been working on, that's perfectly fine. And you can wear light armor.
Yeah. And I am proficient in light armor. But right now I'm just wearing leather armor as that.
Then yeah, I'm gonna snag those bracers, as I don't wear armor.
It's weirdly not on the loot list here, but I think you can pull it out of the items tab, Garm, and give yourself bracers of armor +1. But yeah, now the AP kind of opens up. That was your little railroady introduction. You guys can go follow up on any of those leads you've got on your own. It seems like the story quest is to go to the livery, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys are free to do whatever you want. The town right now is in this heightened state of alert. If you move away from this location, you probably won't run into any guards or anything that would recognize you as being as part of the protest. If you want to do some exploring, though, like around the park and the Opera House, it's certainly on high alert right now, and they would definitely recognize the person with the gun and the person with the scythe.
Sorry, guys.
I mean, at least for now, until those guards go off shift and they get distracted by other things.
Walt, can you
Until their Skyrim eye closes. What's up?
add the bracers to my sheet? I can't.
Yeah, I'll get them for you.
Thanks, Dad. Yeah.
I put them in party, and then you can acquire them.
Sick. Thank you.
Yep.
Tommy,
What's
I
up,
understand you did what you did.
8 times 7.
Are
Can
you
we
mad,
please
buddy?
try not killing people? It's okay. They were definitely trying to hurt you, and they were trying to hurt me. I understand.
If you
But-
crit, is it automatic lethal?
If he confirms, it's a ×4 weapon. So against basically anything that's like a very powerful creature, it at this level, yeah, would be an auto kill.
That's funny. Okay, continue.
Yeah, it'd basically be like if you did ×4 damage when you crit with your fist.
Yeah.
The drawback, right, is that your weapon is a light weapon, so later on you'll be able to do multiple attacks a turn. And yours also only crits on a 20, but you get lots of attacks. His only crits on a 20.
Yeah.
Yep. We're like a swashbuckler. Also, Seishi's weapon is a ×4. You guys are very crit heavy.
Yeah.
If either Seish or Cobra crits what they're attacking, like game over for whatever they're shooting or fighting.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna grab some water, and you guys talk amongst yourselves, figure out where you want to go next.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can divvy up that gold now and things like that if you want to. I'll be right back.
I don't currently have a need for gold.
How much gold was it?
It's all in the party loot, so if we want to split it up, we can.
Yeah, we could probably sell some of this stuff too, like the maces and studded leather.
Yeah, it's probably best to do a shopping trip like that later.
Yeah.
Go around and do some stuff now, because we're not really going to get any important upgrades.
And so I read a little bit on the player's guide. Apparently, like money will actually be important to put into the Silver Ravens, and so I there will be like a percentage of our money that we make that will have to go towards like upkeep.
Yeah, we'll probably just play like we have 5 characters, and the 5th pool is just the treasury.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds smart to me.
I think tonight though we should lay low since there's so many guards out.
Yeah, like if Cobra or I go out, it's very easy to get spotted.
All right, I'm back. Did you guys decide what you want to do?
Can we safely like go to the livery right now?
Yeah, if you guys want to, you can pass through zones with no problem. Like, we don't need to roll dice or anything. But if you wanted to, like, explore anything in this zone, the J zone, or probably the O zone as well, just right around the park, then we'd need to make checks. If you want to explore elsewhere, you're totally fine. You don't need to make any checks.
Okay.
Like, if you're moving through the location quickly, you're fine. And yeah, there are sewers and things like that, but the city guard is also aware of the sewers.
Oh,
I just mean I have like a plus 13 to stealth.
Yeah. With you, like, leading them through alleys and sewers occasionally, Seish, like, you guys can safely get places without having to worry about it. There will be a mechanic later on in the adventure for, like, awareness. It hasn't been introduced yet.
So the other things we can do besides the livery are
I can.
Hill District with the red Jills.
Yep.
And then we had the salt mine that had been like captured and enslaved and stuff.
yeah.
I think that's a little bit above our pay grade.
See doodle.
Sounds like a good level 1 adventure to me.
Yeah, I think that's above my pay grade.
Oh my gosh. Let me remove all these pointers. So yes, over here, the square is your main quest that you have.
That's the livery, the Fair.
Yep. Over here is where the gang... Oh. Boop. Over here is where the gang is. This area. Over here are the mines. The salt mines. And then you were told that your bar has like gotten more rowdy. That was actually a rumor.
Okay.
So those are the main ones that you've heard that aren't in any district that like those are the places you could go right now without raising any suspicion.
Yeah. Okay. We could go to the livery and just kind of see what we're working with here.
That's where my rumor put me to.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the noises and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then maybe next, like, we could maybe go to the bar. Like, this R1 area is kind of, or our area is kind of.
It's on the way.
On the way, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If you guys are heading to the livery, give me a knowledge local check to see what you guys know about it. Also, Rexus will be like, I'm gonna stay here. If you guys
were just injured, I understand. Take your rest if you need anything.
He'll kind of like chuckle. Say, well, I am a scholar by trade. Humble bragging that he kicked the shit out of half of them. No.
Yeah, he did kick the shit out of. Oh my god.
he's just level 2, Garm. He's just a little ahead of you. Yeah. Yuri, you grew up here. You remember back when the livery was a slaughterhouse in the Redroof district's earliest days. Or you remember people talking about it. It's been remade into a thriving stable under the direction of the Juliac family, who invested their fortunes from the care of creatures rather than their deaths. The livery served as a minor safe house for the Silver Ravens during the Civil War. But now, it is largely an abandoned building. And you haven't heard much about it.
Okay. I'm gonna grab water.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay.
Oh, he will accompany you if you guys want him to. He won't participate in combat, I'll say, but he'll like help you make skill checks and stuff like that and fill in questions if you'd like. or he'll stay here.
I think he can relax.
All right, you guys got
Yeah,
this.
He had a long day. He got like
He did, in fact, have a long day. Now, something else of note, it's just in your party thing right now, but you have a silver dagger. Mechanically, that's worse than all of your weapons, but it is silver. And common knowledge, especially in Cheliax, is that devils are resistant to most forms of damage, but silver typically does full damage. So even though it's just like in your generic party sheet, I would recommend giving that to Yuri so that he has an option if you encounter devils. Which is not an unreasonable thing to think might happen in this town. And you know what? It's probably something even that Rexus would suggest as he sees you just kind of like throw all the gold into a bag along with the dagger and be like, maybe you should put that somewhere you could draw it if you need to.
sure. I'll put it on my person. Use it
Yeah.
as like a what is it called? Like a envelope opener.
Letter opener, yeah.
Yeah, letter opener.
It's worth, for what it's worth, Austin, it's worth several hundred gold. So you don't want to
Yeah.
you don't want to lose it anywhere. Yeah. You guys can travel to the livery. I don't know, probably takes like an hour or something to get there. Your hour per level buffs go away. Suck it. Not that you have any at this point.
No.
As you arrive, you see the aged stable leans slightly to one side, its roof precariously propped up by wooden walls. The air reeks of stale urine. Broken desks, scuffed tables, and iron chairs crowd the 13 horse stalls, as you quickly count them. One of you is like Rain Man. All of which are covered with a healthy layer of dust. A grated-off alcove along the southeastern wall seems to house the only relatively intact wares. The front doors and back doors seem to be locked shut, but you can see through like the openings and stuff like that, the stuff I've described. You could go through the doors, or you could like clamber through one of the openings if you wanted to, and I will get you a map. Oh look, it's the next place. Da-da-da-da. Ooh,
Like
let's
the campaign wanted us to go there.
word. Good golly.
A perception check, see if I hear any of these strange noises.
Okay. From the outside, would you get in your perception check? A 20? Yeah, you hear things. It sounds like creatures, like movement inside, and you hear an animal whine. Like a
Like a horse?
no, like a dog.
This is where they're keeping all the dogs they bought.
Not all of them. This building is also like very ramshackle and there's no guards. So there might be dogs here. They're probably not affiliated with the order of that you'd come to expect of the Dottari.
So that decree I agreed with earlier is looking not so good. The 50 silver for a dog.
Yeah, so you guys see that building. It's closed up real tight. I'll reveal the walls though so you guys can kind of get the idea of what it looks like. Boop. Boop boop. Yep, there you go. There's the livery. It's locked, but Yuri just kind of sizing it up and sizing yourself up. You think you could probably bust these doors open if you wanted to. Sezzix, you think you could probably slip underneath the doors if you wanted to. Tommy, these look like doors. Caerrat, these look like doors.
Good schooling.
Your farmer strength, you could probably open these doors too.
Yeah,
At least the combined two of us could easily do it.
Yeah, certainly.
Can I stealthily like try to slip in and like get to one side and get behind something?
Yeah, you think so. And you guys should see the map and you can move yourselves around and whatnot.
Oh, phenomenal.
It's just not a nat one.
Yeah, you sneak up. Given the distance
like,
and the
get
fact
over
there's
here.
like a wall or whatever, nothing seems to notice you. Give me an escape artist check as you slip underneath the door there.
I'm untrained in that.
It's okay. It's just raw dexterity.
Does acrobatics work then?
Are you small sized?
Yeah,
Oh, you're small enough that you can just walk underneath these doors.
phenomenal.
Do you have dark vision, my guy?
Yeah, 60 feet.
Okay. That's like 60 feet. There's no light in here, obviously. There's like various trickles and like beams of light coming through or whatever, but there's nothing more than that. In this area here. Oh, here's the descriptive text of this room. It's the same one I did. There seems to be creatures here. You see shadows moving over here. And over here, Seishi. But they are at the edge of your vision. You can make out some shapes that seem to be medium or maybe small sized, but you can't, they're hunkered over like you. They're on all fours. They're dogs. There's dogs over there. They might be undead. They might be undead dogs. I don't know. They might be red dogs. They might be wiener dogs. Like, you don't know what kind of dogs they are, but they're dogs.
While you're talking,
they're dogs.
we just know.
After I see them, can I like step outside and tell my compatriots what's going on?
Yeah, there's dogs over there, he tells you.
Yeah, there's some weird dogs.
Devil dogs.
Your dogs.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I'll like, can I take a few more steps forward to see if I can find anything?
Yeah.
If we want, we can open these doors and just...
So, the way stealth works is that basically you make this stealth check and it represents you generally being sneaky, taking actions on your turn. However, if you are ever in line of sight of someone without cover between you and them, you get a minus like 20 on your stealth check.
Yeah,
So,
as
right
soon as you
now...
started saying that,
yeah.
I remembered why I wanted to be.
Yeah. So you can just don't move to the center, but you can definitely like tuck in over here or whatever. And see a little more.
I was gonna say, I'm
Yep.
like going from stable to stable.
I'll allow it, you son of a bitch. Okay. You see...
Talk about your mother-in-law like that.
Wow. You see doggos. They're not hostile. They're dogs. You don't know what their deal is. They're dogs. The one to the south looks to be in better health than the ones to the north. And the ones in the north are like yipping and snarling with one another, kind of like playing like dogs do. They look rather mangy. Looks like they haven't been fed in a while, aside from whatever scraps they can find. And the one to the south is lying down and like relaxing.
I see like, if I go to the next one, do I see anything? Like, can I see past that wall or hear anything?
You can... I'll reveal kind of like what you can see. There's a grate here and another wall, and then it looks like it opens into a second area. That's about all you can see without like actually getting further forward.
Then after the second one, I'll go back out to my compatriots and tell them we should probably go in farther. I don't want to go past the dogs scare rats.
That's science right there. Like, you can't argue with those. Those are just facts.
Yeah. I was gonna say let's find some food and befriend the dogs, but I mean if someone is scared, but dogs,
I'll
Does
go
anyone have
first.
handle animal?
I do.
For rodents.
You do, Yuri?
I do
you can
have-
go talk to dogs?
I have handle animal
I
as
can
well.
I can say that they are good boys.
Aw.
They're good as boys.
What's your
They
bonus? Which who has the higher bonus?
I have a +1.
I have a +1.
Not
We
a
could-
very charismatic talking to those dogs.
Yeah, so you'd make a handle animal check, or you'd make a wild empathy check. You know, those are all just D20 rolls. You could also, adjust them with, like, giving them food, setting the building on fire. All these things would cause animals to react in different ways.
Would we like have food on us? Because I
Fire and
imagine
food?
we like live in this city. Like we wouldn't really have food. We just go home and eat, right?
I mean, yeah, you could
Put a stall
You could
outsiders.
go out and buy food or something if you want to.
Yeah.
There's a whole
like-
town.
Go to like the shish kebab place down the street, grab some meat, and come back.
Yeah, you can spend like 5 copper or whatever and get
Yeah.
what you think would be a distractible amount of food.
Yeah, I'll
Perfect.
do that and try to approach these dogs.
Sure. Did you want Tommy to do it, or he's untrained? Is no one trained in handle animal?
I'm
Yes,
trained
sir.
in it.
Did you put a rank in it?
I don't have a rank in it.
Okay.
but-
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I see.
yeah, that's what I meant. Someone would have a better bonus. Yeah. Yuri, go ahead. Just move yourself where you'd like to go.
Sure,
And
sure.
would anyone else like to go into the structure with him?
I'll go in with him, but I'm gonna stay back.
Sure. Make a stealth check if you're trying to stay hidden again, Sessek.
This time it went a little better.
Oh yeah, you're super stealthed. You go in, Tommy, as Yuri's going in, you see like Sezek coming with you, and you're like, all right, I got support. And like you get a little further ahead, and you look behind you, he's just gone. You're like, oh shit! But you see your other companions spring up the rear. As you get to there, the dogs begin snarling. They perk up. They're barking loudly, growling at you. They're doing the thing where they're like taking a couple of steps to the side, moving around a little bit. This one will stand up and begin barking very loudly, as if it's, in charge of the other two.
Excellent.
They'll begin
Well,
turning to hostile.
I'll pull off some of the meat from the shish kebab or whatever I grabbed, and then like I'll kind of toss it so it's within like, I don't know, 10 feet maybe of this feral mastiff.
Sure, roll a d20.
Sure.
Just to see if you hit that square. Yo,
Yeah, I do.
you throw it like perfectly. It lands exactly where you're aiming.
Excellent.
Yeah, it'll come up and it'll eat it. It will go to that one will go to neutral. Oh, whoops. That was the wrong one.
Excellent.
The others will begin snarling and barking at you. They'll come a little closer.
I'll take a 5-foot step closer to the feral mastiff, and then I'll take 2 more chunks off, and I'll same thing. I'll toss them kind of right in front of these other.
Yeah, you can do it. Give me a handle animal check just in general for the whole dog situation.
Sure.
See if you make any faux pas. I mean, I feel like a 10 at level 1 with food from like as written starving dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they will go over to the food and start eating it, and then the bigger one will come over and kind of bark at them and snarl at them and drive them away from it, and it will eat it. And the others will like go back over here and whimper. Yeah. The two seem rather snarly still, but this neutral one is kind of keeping them at bay.
Sounds good. I'll keep getting closer, and every time I get closer, there will be more meat for bigger dog.
Yeah.
I get, like another 10 feet closer, and
Yeah. As you get up to here, you can see more of this layout. This next area looks like it has a wagon in it that's broken down. There's some back offices to the north that have like an old desk, a chair, some empty cupboards, things like that. You could certainly search around this area if you want to. The dogs here, I'll say they'll be kind of sated or whatever for like 10 minutes. Based off of the amount of food you've purchased. You can make another animal check to try to like drive them out. Or to like befriend them further. But with things being as they are now, you got like 10 minutes to like search around without getting attacked by dogs.
That's
kind of like
fine.
gesture to my comrades that they can like, I don't know, come around me to search around. I'm still gonna like hang out with the dogs, and like maybe in 10 minutes I'll I'll try to make another animal handle check.
Yeah, as they get like a little more aggressive.
Yeah. Just let me know when.
Sure.
Dogs are distracted. Can I like run across to the other side?
Yeah, for sure.
And then I'll just like go stall by stall up to here for now.
Yeah. So this is an iron gate right in front of you guys that seems to block the entrance to a hallway. It is locked as you guys go to investigate it. You think you could wriggle through it if you're a small creature with an escape artist check. You also think you could break it if you wanted to, try to strength your way into it, and you can kind of just see through it. Looks like there's another like room there, but you can't quite get into it. As you guys are searching around, though, give me perception checks, trying to find anything of interest. Holy shit. Okay. You're dealing with the dogs.
Yeah, I'm not gonna roll it.
Caerrat, Sezzix, and Tommy, you guys kind of spread out and start knocking things over. Tommy, you head over to the wagon, kind of investigate it to see if there's anything useful here. And you notice that it looks like it could be pretty well repaired, but someone has taken the time to strip all of the metal off of it. So it's very rickety right now, and you probably wouldn't want to stand on it. You think if you did, it would probably like collapse or something like that. Let's see who else got there.
I'd be excited
so
that I found this and like
oh yeah,
and ask if I can take it. It looks like no one wants it. Like,
yeah. I mean, it's
You probably have to fix it up, but it's a wagon.
I'm excited about this wagon.
Caerrat, you notice that the back offices, as you go to explore those, are relatively empty. There doesn't seem to be anything of value here, but you do notice strange little tracks that look like baby footprints with claws. They crisscross the floor, the desktops, and the cupboards. You can make a knowledge nature check to identify what kind of creature would leave these little strange clawed footprints.
I haven't started the academy yet.
Anyone that has knowledge nature could do this. And lastly, Sezzix, you notice the glint of something shiny and valuable with your check.
100% going for it.
There is a ring that seems to be nailed to one of the rafters 15 feet above. Actually, more or less above where this wagon is. You think that you could stand on the wagon to try and reach up there. Of course, Tommy would know that that wagon is unsafe and you probably shouldn't stand on it.
I mean, I'm a light creature. I don't weigh very much.
You could make a climb check to just kind of like scale the walls and try to get to the rafters if you want to.
Can I boost him up there?
Yeah, it's 15 feet off the ground. So if you boost him, he'd be a little shy of it. So you'd still need to make a climb check because you'd have to boost him to like a lower part of a rafter and then he'd have to scramble over.
Could he throw me up there? Because I don't think climb is going to work.
Does anyone else have?
Anyone can climb.
Yeah, I can.
Climb is just a strength skill.
Yeah.
I mean, I could climb then.
Yeah, do it up. You climb shit on the farm.
The ring and be like, can you get that? I'm weak.
Oh, yeah. You move a couple of barrels over maybe the old table and stand on it and boost yourself up to like the lower 10-foot height of the rafter. They're at like the bottom because they can't up, right? And then you scramble hand over hand and you find a platinum ring. It seems to be a signet ring. It's quite valuable. As you're moving the drawer, as you're moving this desk, Garm, and you're helping, one of the drawers opens, and you see there's a key in there. Seems to be made of iron.
Oh, probably for the the gate.
Probably. Plot relevant.
What is this door down here?
You guys can make knowledge local checks to know what family this ring is for.
Of note, guys, I gotta wrap up and head out.
Okay, we will end there then, because
Yeah,
it is 3:00.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me do one last thing. We'll end with you guys opening up this room. It looks like this was the killing floor when this place was like a fully functioning slaughterhouse, and you can finish up this level. You'll find an old workroom in the bottom corner there that houses numerous old slaughterhouse tools, veterinary equipment, woodworking tools, all of which are covered in a thick layer of dust, which strange tracks and patterns have been traced. These footprints that you saw earlier, Garm. Heavy mallets, crumbling ropes, and tools for restraining animals hang from the pegs in the walls or rest atop leaning tables. To the southwest, a trapdoor stands ajar, propped open by a block of wood. And you can see the tracks go into this hole. And we'll end there.
Good.
Suspicious.
Sounds good.
All right, so I need to figure out... Write this down. I need to figure out... roll all initiative. Cool. All right. Good shit, guys. Does the same time next week work for everyone?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, we're good there.
All right. So we'll just say noon to 3 is like our go time.
Bet.
Keep them short and sweet and on topic. All right. We'll see you guys next week.